Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hello.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hello. Hello.
சத்தமா கேக்குதா?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
சார் ஐயோ.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hello. Hello.
Honorable Deputy அதே ஒரு கெத்தா இங்க சொல்லு.
Hello.
Honorable Deputy Speaker. இதுல சவுண்ட் கம்மியா வருது.
Honorable Deputy Speaker. கம்மியா கேக்குது.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Honorable Speaker,
Respected Madam Deputy Speaker.
Honorable
Madam
Speaker.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Honorable
Honorable
Deputy
Speaker, Madam.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, Madam. இப்படின்னா தூங்கிடுவாங்க. இப்படிதான் நிப்பேன். Honorable Speaker, Madam. Honorable Speaker, Madam. வரல. Honorable Speaker,
Respected
Madam.
Madam.
அதான் வருது. Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Good morning. கேக்குதா? Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Madam Speaker. Okay, va. Okay, la.
Honorable Speaker. ஓகே தானே சத்தம்?
ஸ்பீக்கர் கொஞ்சம் எங்க சைடு உங்க சைடு இல்ல.
ஹலோ ஹலோ கேக்குதா இல்லையா? கேக்கலையா? கேக்கலையா? கேக்குதா?
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Deputy கேக்குதா? Honorable Deputy Speaker.
தட்டி பாரு. இது ஆஃப் பண்ணிலாம் ஆன் பண்ண முடியாது. பேசிட்டே இருக்க வேண்டியது. ஆன்ல தான் இருக்கு. டக்குன்னு சொல்லி பார்த்துட்டு உட்காரு இல்லைனா.
hello.
Check. Check.
The youth are the leaders of today, shaping the world of tomorrow. Youth Parliament is a platform that nurtures leadership, responsibility, and democratic values among the students. Through this initiative, students learn to voice their opinions respectfully, listen to the diverse perspective, and work together towards collective solution, just like real lawmakers. And I welcome you all for this Youth Parliament 2026, where our young leaders are here gathered to discuss and debate on the topic of the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023.
Every great gathering begins by honoring the land and language that shapes our identity. I invite political science students for Tamil Thai Valthu. Kindly rise up.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமட குழந்தை கெளிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமெதில் தெக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிளமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. All be seated. As we begin this prestigious program, we now move forward toward an auspicious and meaningful tradition. I invite all the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp.
Thank you, dignitaries. Every meaningful gathering begins with the word that set the tone and spirit of the event. I invite P. Bhavani from 3rd BA Political Science to deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to all. I am Bhavani Palnisamy from 3rd BA Political Science. It is both an honor and a responsibility to stand before you two today to deliver the welcome address for this 3rd Youth Parliament 2026. On behalf of Vivekanandha College of Arts and Science for Women Autonomous, I extend a warm and respectful welcome to everyone gathered here. Today's gathering is not just an academic event. It is a reflection of democracy in action. Youth Parliament is not about imitation. It is about participation. It is about understanding how policies are debated, how laws are shaped, and how leadership is exercised. I extend my respectful welcome to our Honorable Chairman, Sir, and Secretary of Vivekanandha Educational Institutions and Hospitals, Vidyaratna, Professor Dr. M. Karunanithi, Sir, whose visionary in leadership continuously empowers women through education. Sir, your commitment to academic excellence and educational growth is the foundation on which we stand today. I welcome our Chairman, Vice Chairman, Sir, K. Kribanidhi, Sir, Vivekananda Education Institutions and Hospitals for this grand program. We are especially honored to welcome our chief guest, Ms. Keertana S., District Youth Officer under Mera Yuva Bharat, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Ma'am, your work in mobilizing and empowering youth directly connects with the purpose of today's program, preparing young minds to understand leadership, governance, and civic responsibility. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to Professor Dr. S. Kuppuswamy, Executive Director of Vivekananda Educational Institutions. Sir, we eagerly look forward to your insights and guidance. I extend my warm welcome to Professor Dr. John Palmer Victor, is an accomplished and versatile leader with over 25 years of extensive experience in various senior management and training roles, holding numerous portfolios both locally and internationally. He has authored and published his book titled Palmer's 7C DNA of Entrepreneurship in the year 2024. I welcome you, sir. I also welcome Mr. Ravendran Venkatasamy, is a resourceful and visionary leader with comprehensive history in political affairs and development initiatives. He is currently serving as a political secretary to Klang Member of Parliament, MP Honorable V. Jnanabatrao, Vetraman Prison Councillor for 14 years. I welcome you, sir. The Youth Parliament session, led by students of political science, history, and economics, is a testament to interdisciplinary understanding. Democracy is not the responsibility of a politics alone, it is the responsibility of an informed citizen. And today, we take one step closer to becoming responsible, aware, and articulate citizens. I hereby welcome all the heads of the departments and faculty members who have come here to grace this occasion. With great respect and enthusiasm, I once again welcome each and everyone for this Youth Parliament. Let's hope for a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you for those warm welcoming. I invite our Vice Chairman, sir, of Vivekanandha Educational Institution and Hospitals to introduce our today's chief guest.
Very good afternoon to the respected dignitaries on the dais and my dear students and faculty members. Today I am here to introduce one of the most prominent personality in Malaysia, not only in Malaysia, in India also. He started his journey as a MBA graduate. From his childhood, he had a vision of stepping into the Parliament of Malaysia. His vision has come true by his hard work and his relentless effort. He started his journey in the political affairs as a political secretary to Y.B. Sivakumar. He was a Ministry of Human Resource in Malaysia. Then he was a member of Parliament. He served as a political secretary, continued his journey to Y.B. Sivakumar when he was a member of Parliament also. Then he continued serving as a political secretary to Y.B. Kasturi, followed by political secretary to Y.B. Manogaran. He was a member of Parliament too in Malaysia. Currently, he is a political secretary to Y.B. Ganapati Rao. He is a member of Parliament in the Klang district of Malaysia. He also serves an important role in the society as a prison counselor of Malaysia. He took up the role not only as a prison counselor, as a drug rehab center counselor, then AADK Rehab Center. He is a volunteer for that. Not only in political, also he has many involvements in the, he is doing many things for the society also as a counselor. And he is also a chairman of Malaysian Community Crime Care. And He is also serving chairman as a DAP branch in Batu. This is his political career, and he is one of the most resourceful and visionary leader with a comprehensive history and background in political affairs as well as the development initiatives. He is a true leader that inspires and empowers subordinates by acknowledging, respecting, and rewarding the accomplishments. So today, so far, our Vivekananda's this mock parliament has received multiple guests from the Indian Parliament, but this is the occasion where we have one of the most experienced and eminent personality from Malaysia today, and hope we will show him. He has come with lots of high expectations. Hope we will meet his expectations today. And thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for introducing our today's chief guest.
Sorry. I left one more very important person today, who's the reason we got our chief guest of the function today. So, Dr. John Palmer Victor. நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய பழக்கங்கள் கடந்த ஒரு 4 மாத காலங்களாக இருந்தாலும் நாங்கள் we traveled thousands of miles together. எங்கன்னா from India to Helsinki, Kayani, Malaysia, இதெல்லாம் ஒன்றா travel பண்ணியிருக்கோம். So that's when I came to meet him, and he is also an author, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur சாதாரணமான entrepreneur கிடையாது. He is into multiple things. One is aviation industry. He is leasing out chartered flights. அதுக்கப்புறம் he is having some business in coffee in Indonesia. He is also a very good orator. In fact, yesterday he delivered on leadership program for all our heads of institutions in our campus here. Whole day, from morning till evening, ஒரு person எப்படி எனர்ஜெட்டிக்காக இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னா அவர் பார்த்து தான் கற்றுக்கணும். Morning 10 o'clock he started. Evening 6 o'clock அப்புறம் கேட்குறாரு, குரூ போதுமா அப்படின்னு. பத்தாதுன்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாலும் என்ன எடுத்திருப்பாரு. ஸோ அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு highly energetic person, having a plenty of experience in business background. He is in fact a lawyer himself, studied at UK, அதுக்கப்புறம் practiced in Malaysia. He was a criminal lawyer. அதுக்கப்புறம் switched to medical legal cases. So politically, what experience he has is his studies, and also he was a lawyer also, so he knows in and out of the laws. So I think we have the two apt guests today நம்மளுடைய ப்ரோக்ராம்க்கு. So hope we all will meet their expectations, and after the program is over, we will get to know their ideas also. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you once again, sir. I invite the dignitaries on the dais to assemble down.
Respected dignitaries, faculty members, and my fellow students. We now move to the most important part of today's program, the Youth Parliament session. Before we begin, let us understand what we are stepping into. Parliament is the heart of the democracy. It is where national issues are debated, laws are framed, governments are questioned, and policies are defended. It is where power is not exercised silently but examined publicly. Youth Parliament Parliament is the heart of a democracy. It is where national issues are debated, laws are framed, governments are questioned, and policies are defended. It is where power is not exercised silently but examined publicly. Youth Parliament is not a drama. It is not a formality. It is a rehearsal for responsibility. In this session, we are not merely students playing roles. We represent ideas, constituencies, ideologies, and public concerns. Every motion we move, every question we raise, and every argument presented carries meaning. Democracy does not demand uniformity. It demands engagement. It does not fear disagreement. It fears indifference. Today's session will test our clarity of thought, our ability to reason, and our discipline in dialogue. We must remember strong arguments require strong listening. Debate is powerful only when it is informed and respectful. Let this chamber reflect seriousness, preparation, and integrity. Let facts guide us, not emotion. Let logic lead us, not noise. With that spirit, I invite all the members participating in this youth parliament to take their position and begin this session with confidence and responsibility.
Hello, testing, check.
Hello.
நான் சொல்லிட்டு உங்கள்கிட்ட கொடுத்துறேன். Okay, wow. Hello.
Honorable members,
Hello, hello. Hello. Kekda?
Start.
Honorable members, are you audible?
Start. Now, the session Youth Parliament 2026 is going to start. G. Rasiga, position Speaker. P. Janani, Deputy Speaker. G. Pradipha, Prime Minister. S. N. Vijayalata, General Secretary. P. Kirtika, General Secretary. M. Davastri, General Secretary. B. Kavistri, Marshal. R. Varalakshmi, Minister of Rural Development. A. Nazira Banu, Minister of Tourism. M. Bhavana, Minister of Urban Development. B. Madhumita, Minister of Science and Technology. K. Akshaya, Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. S. Suryashree, Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. A. S. Yogashri, Minister of Women and Child Development. V. Kartiga, Minister of Law and Justice. K. A. Pradibha, Minister of Railways. S. Nivela, Minister of Heavy Industries. A. M. Mohanapriya, Minister of Education. K. Soundarya, Minister of Defense. M. Saranya Lakshmi, Minister of External Affairs. M. Shweta, Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. R. Libiselvi, Minister of Renewable Energy. A. Preeti, Minister of Labour and Employment. S. Selvakumari, Minister of Environment. A. Preeti, Minister of Labour and Empowerment. S. Ashwini, Minister of Health. N. Jivika, Minister of Finance. A. Madhunisha, Home Minister. D. Navastri, Minister of Tribal Affairs. R. Rudravina, Member of Parliament. M. Sangeeta, Minister of Powers. D. Ponpriyadashni, Minister of Textiles. K. Jyotika, Member of Parliament. C. S. Tejaswini, Minister of Panchayat Raj. S. Yogita, Member of Parliament. S. Inia, Member of Parliament. S. Danusha Sri, Minister of Civil Aviation. Opposition Leader S. Harisha. Ramya Sri, Member of Parliament. J. Lipuja, Member of Parliament. K. Dhanushri, Member of Parliament. S. Pritima, Member of Parliament. K. M. Niranjana, Member of Parliament. M. Abhinaya, Member of Parliament. A. Sumita, Member of Parliament. D. Inbashri, Member of Parliament. S. Vainisha, Member of Parliament. S. Yashwantra, Member of Parliament. P. Joyce Jemima, Member of Parliament. S. Varnika Sri, Member of Parliament. S. Samitra, Member of Parliament. V. Rudraprabha, Member of Parliament. S. K. Amrita, Member of Parliament. A. Jasmine Fatima, Member of Parliament. Preeta, Member of Parliament. Harini, Member of Parliament. N. Vijayaragavi, Member of Parliament. M. Asifa, Member of Parliament. L. Deepika, Member of Parliament. S. Priyadashni, Member of Parliament. S. Dhanushri, Member of Parliament. T. K. Madhivadini, Member of Parliament.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, all rise.
Honorable members, a very good morning to all. I welcome you all to the 3rd National Youth Parliament session. I hope this session will be fruitful. We begin today's session with oath or affirmation of our newly elected members. Secretary General, please.
Ms. Bhavana, who stands elected from Karnataka constituency of Bangalore, will now take oath or affirmation. Do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would like to take the oath?
Kannada, please.
I.
ನಾನು ಭಾವನಾ ನಾನು ಯುವ ಸಂಸತ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಖೆಗೆ ಸದಸ್ಯೆಯಾಗುವಾಗ ಈಶ್ವರ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಶಪಥ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೀನಿ. ಭಾರತ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ನಿಷ್ಠೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸನಿಟ್ಟು ಕಾಯುತ್ತೀನಿ. ಕನ್ನನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಶಪಥ ಆಗಿರುವ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಭಾರತದ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಅಖಂಡವನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಾನು ಪರಶುಲು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹಿಮ್ರದವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
Ms. Madhumita, who stands elected from Kerala constituency of Alapula, will now take oath or affirmation. Do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would like to take the oath?
Malayalam, please.
I.
ഞാൻ മധുമിത യൂത്ത് പാർലമെന്റിന്റെ ഹൗസിൽ അംഗമായി തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കപ്പെട്ടതിനാൽ നിയമപ്രകാരം സ്ഥാപിതമായ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഭരണഘടനയോട് യഥാർത്ഥ വിശ്വാസവും കൂറും പുലർത്തുമെന്നും ഇന്ത്യയുടെ പരമാധികാരവും അഖണ്ഡതയും ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിക്കുമെന്നും ഞാൻ ഏൽക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന കടമ വിശ്വാസത്തോട് നിർവഹിക്കുമെന്നും ദൈവാന്തിൻ്റെ നാമത്തിൽ സത്യം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
Ms. Nazira Banu, who stands elected from Uttar Pradesh constituency of Lucknow, will now take oath or affirmation. Do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would like to take the oath?
Hindi, please.
I.
मैं नसीरा बानू यूथ पार्लियामेंट लोअर हाउस की सदस्य के रूप में निर्वाचित होकर ईश्वर के नाम पर शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं भारत की संविधान के प्रति जो विधि द्वारा स्थापित है सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी. मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता को बनाए रखूंगी तथा जिस बात की कर्तव्यों को मैं ग्रहण करने वाली हूँ उन कर्तव्यों का मैं पूरी ईमानदारी और निष्ठा के साथ निर्वहन करूंगी. जय हिंद.
Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my sad duty to inform you all about the demise of our former member of Rajya Sabha, Shri Karunanithi Bhattacharya. We deeply mourn the demise of our former colleague, and this gathering expresses its deepest condolence to the bereaved family.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise to pay tribute for Shri Karunanithi Bhattacharya. Shri Bhattacharya was a committed public servant and parliamentarian who served the people of Assam and the nation too, with all his dedications. His contribution to public life and parliamentary work will be remembered with respect. The House expresses its deep sorrow at his passings and conveys its heartfelt condolence to the bereaved family.
We are deeply saddened by the passing of Shri Karunanithi Bhattacharya, Honorable Member of Parliament. His commitment, humility and service will always be remembered. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends and supporters. May his soul rest in peace.
The House may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. Secretary General, may please convey the message of condolence to the bereaved family. Honorable Prime Minister, to introduce new ministers.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I have pleasure in introducing to you and through you to the House my colleagues, the new ministers. Ms. Bhavana, Minister of Urban Development. Ms. Madhumita, Minister of Science and Technology. Ms. Nasira Banu, Minister of Tourism.
Now, the question hour starts. Question number 101, Ms. Niranjana.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam, question number 101. Will the Minister of Railways to be pleased to state? Firstly, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister, what is the estimated revenue earned by the government due to the discontinuation of senior citizen concession in railway fares? Secondly, senior citizens have been receiving this concession for decades and many of them are largely depend upon affordable public transport for their daily needs. In this context, I wish to ask, what were the specific reason to discontinue this long-standing concession provided to senior citizens? And thirdly, Madam, withdrawal of this concession have been adversely affected the senior citizen, especially those who are from economically weaker section. Therefore, I would like to know what alternative measures has the government taken to support and safeguard the senior citizen who are largely affected by the withdrawal of this concession.
Honorable Minister of Railways, please respond.
Respected Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to begin by answering part A of the question posed by the Honorable Member. Yes, this is a very important issue that has been raised in this House, which is the Ministry of Indian Railways strives to provide affordable services to all shades of the society. And I must say that I, for a fact, am very proud of this. We all should be. In this regard, during the year 2022 to 2023, we, the Indian Railways, provided a subsidy of rupees 56,993 crore on passenger tickets. Now, what does this actually mean and why am I saying this? because on an average, this amounts to a concession of 46% to every single passenger traveling on Indian Railways. Yes, Madam Deputy Speaker, to every passenger. Here, it is important to note that this subsidy is continuing and is being provided to every passenger even today. And not only that, concessions beyond this subsidy are also continuing for many categories. So these include 4 categories of persons with disabilities, that is Divyangjans, 11 categories of patients and 8 categories of students.
And what about the senior citizens, madam?
Members, please maintain silence. Members, please maintain silence. Miss Niranjana, please be seated. Please let the minister finish.
But here, you should not think that we are concerned with only one section. We are focused on the larger picture, the integrated and holistic development of passenger welfare across and throughout the entire country. रेलवे मंत्रालय अमृत भारत स्टेशन योजना के तहत स्टेशनों को यात्रियों के लिए और भी अच्छा और आधुनिक बना रहे ताकि यात्रा आरामदायक हो सके। इन कामों का मकसद यह पक्का करना है कि हर कोई, खासकर बुजुर्ग, आसानी से और सम्मान के साथ सुरक्षित सफर कर सके। Having stated these policy measures, now I shall proceed to answer part B of the question. I thank the honorable member for raising this concern. Madam Deputy Speaker, the decision to discontinue the senior citizen concession was taken during a period of unprecedented financial stress. Yes, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Indian Railways, like many other sectors, was facing serious financial difficulties. However, I must point out that the government continues to review such policies from time to time, keeping the welfare of senior citizens very much in mind. Lastly, when I come to answer part B of the question, I would like to assure this august house that Indian Railways remains sensitive to the needs of senior citizens and to the needs of all passengers and continues to provide us safe, accessible and affordable travel facilities and what not. I could go on stating many more steps, but here I will stop by reiterating that we are committed to excellence in every single aspect and in every single respect. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Ms. Niranjana, do you have any supplementary?
Yes, Madam Deputy Speaker. The Honorable Minister is repeatedly taking shelter under the word subsidy. By continuously highlighting figures and percentages, is the Minister trying to hide the real issues on the ground? It is not a fact that speaking only about subsidy, the government is diverting attention from the withdrawal of long-standing hardships and benefits faced by ordinary passengers.
Honorable Minister of Railways, would you like to respond?
Yes, Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to. Thank you, Honorable Member, for mentioning this again. Like you said, there are no more two opinions that this is a grave matter, because it really is. But you know what else is more important? The more important to know is what you are really asking. The question you are raising. You mentioned withdrawal, you mentioned neglect, everything. What do you know, Madam? What do you know? I will tell what you should know before raising such questions. Indian Railways today continues to provide a massive subsidy to every passenger traveling on a network. And not only that, passengers including senior citizens are also traveling at a cost far below the actual fare. What? Far below the actual fare. Have we seen this level of support being sustained year after year? No. And that is what I call responsibility, that is what I call balanced decision making, and that is what I call governance, whatever you are asking. And I would also like to clearly say this, there will be no compromise in any aspect, in any single respect. Hoping that I have satisfied the honorable member with this response, I would like to conclude, Madam.
Question number 102, Ms. Sumita.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam, question number 102. Will the Minister of Rural Development to be pleased to state? My question is the reason for not receiving the dues by Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act workers in Thana village, Bhavnagar district of Gujarat yet, and the number of complaints received by the local administration with regards to workers not receiving their money and the details thereof. And through you, Madam, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister to clarify by when these workers would receive their entire due amount.
Honorable Minister of Rural Development, your words please.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam,
As per the information furnished by the state government of Gujarat, there is no pendency of wage payment of laborers of Tana village of Bhavnagar district of Gujarat, except 13 number of transactions which have come under the category of failed transactions due to some technical issues. Concerned workers have been asked to submit additional information. After the receipt of information from the laborers, fund transfer order FTO for the failed transactions will be regenerated and requisite payment will be paid in due course. Further, as per the information furnished by the state government of Gujarat, the local administration has not received any written complaints in this matter. Thank you, Madam.
Question number 103, Ms. Vainisha.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, question number 103. Will the Minister of Heavy Industries to be pleased to state whether the government has received any orders from the state government for the production of electric buses for their public transport utilities? If so, the Honorable Minister kindly provide the state-wise details of such orders. If the government has fulfilled all the orders from the state government in this regard, in the affirmative, the complete details thereof can be placed before the House. And Honorable Minister, if not, the reasons therefore to be stated.
Honorable Minister of Heavy Industries, your statement please.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam, I rise to respond to part A and B of the question raised by the Honorable Member regarding the production and deployment of electric buses in the country. I would like to clarify that the government is not in receipt of orders received from the state government for their public transport utility. The Ministry of Heavy Industries is not involved in any production or manufacturing of electric buses. However, the Ministry of Heavy Industries formulated the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric buses in the country under the FAME India scheme in 2015 to promote the faster adoption of electric vehicles in India. The phase 1 of the scheme was available up to 31st March 2019 with budget outlay of rupees 895 crore. Further, phase 2 of FAME India scheme was implemented for a period of 5 years with the efforts from 1st April 2019 with budget support of rupees 11,500 crore. Under phase 1 of FAME India scheme, the incentive for deployment of 425 e-buses were provided to various cities in the country. These details are at Annexure 1. Under phase 2 of FAME India scheme, the incentive for deployment of 6,862 e-buses were provided to various cities and to the state government entities for their intra-city and intercity operations. As on 6th August 2024, out of 6,862 e-buses, 4,901 e-buses were already on Indian roads, not in files, not in announcement, but in real service to the people. These details are at Annexure 2. If there are delays in certain states, this House must remember that transport is a state subject. The centre cannot be blamed for administrative delays where policies, incentives and funds are already provided to the state by the centre. Therefore, Madam, I strongly reject the criticism and reaffirm that the government's commitment to clean and sustainable transport is real, measurable and irreversible. With these words, Madam, I conclude my...
Madam, if everything is a state subject, what is the role of central government?
Honorable Member, I request you to please be seated. Ms. Vainisha, please be seated. The questionnaire is going on the important issues of the country. The supplementary will raise the next questionnaire. Honorable members, as we are in 0 hour, it's time to raise urgent matters of public importance. Please be concise and respectful. The first name on the list is Honorable MP from constituency Keshpur.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Respected Deputy Speaker, during 0 hour, I wish to draw the attention of this esteemed House to the increasing prevalence of mental health issues among youth. The lack of accessible counseling centers and social stigma are aggravating the problem. I urge the government to initiate more community outreach programs.
Already doing through Ayushman Bharat, Madam. Don't against that.
Ms. Ashwini, please be seated. Please maintain the silence.
Madam Deputy Speaker, implementation without sufficient resources has little impact. Mental wellness requires sustained funding, trained professionals and accountability, not just announcements.
Your concern is noted. The Ministry of Health is requested to address this matter promptly. Next, the Honorable MP from constituency Chhattisgarh.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, through Zero Hour, I raise a concern over the adverse effects of climate change visible in the recent erratic weather patterns. Immediate steps need to be taken at the local level, including tree plantation drives, community awareness campaigns to mitigate the impact and ensure a sustainable future for our generation.
The Ministry of Environment should provide an update on this issue during the next session. Lastly, Honorable MP from constituency South Delhi.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, today I bring to the House notice the urgent issue of lack of employment opportunities for fresh graduates. It is imperative that the skill development programs are integrated into academic curriculum and government incentives are provided for startups to encourage the entrepreneurship among our youth. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
The Ministry of Labour and Employment is directed to take swift action and report back to the House. Papers to be laid on the table of the House. Honorable Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam, I beg to lay on the table of the House a copy of the notifications issued by my ministry in the last year.
Honorable Minister of Renewable Energy.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam, I beg to lay on the table of the House the annual report of the Ministry of Renewable Energy for the year 2022 to 2024.
Secretary, to lay on the table of the House the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Bill 2012 as passed by the committee.
Madam, I lay on the table of the House the bill as passed by the committee.
The bill is laid on the table.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam, I beg to lay on the table of the House the following papers. The annual report for the Ministry of Education for the year 2022 to 2023 and the statement of accounts for the Ministry of Health for the year 2022 to 2023 and the annual report for the Ministry of Youth, Welfare and Sports. Thank you, Madam.
The bill is laid on the table. The next item in the list of business is the message from Upper Chamber. Secretary General to report message from Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Madam, I have to report the following message received from Secretary of Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament. In accordance with the provision of rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Upper House of the Youth Parliament, I am directed to enclose a copy of the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill 2018, which has been passed by the Upper Chamber as its sitting held on 22nd March 2018.
Secretary to send a copy of the bill as passed by the Upper Chamber. Honorable members, I have to make an important announcement on my own behalf and on behalf of the honorable members of the House. I have a great pleasure in extending our warm and hearty welcome to the honorable members of Switzerland Parliamentary Delegation who are visit to India as our honored guest. It is very high-powered delegation. The delegation arrived on 25th February. They are now seated in the special box. We wish them a happy and comfortable stay in our country. Now, let us take up a calling attention motion. Parliamentary Secretary, please read the motion.
Madam Deputy Speaker, Ms. Ramya Sri has moved a calling attention motion on rising unemployment among youth. Ms. Ramya Sri, you may proceed.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise to call the attention of the Honourable Minister of Labour and Employment to the alarming rise in the unemployment, especially among our youth. Notwithstanding government claims of rapid economic growth, but lakhs of educated youngsters remain jobless. Recruitment examinations are delayed, vacancies lie unfilled, and still small businesses are struggling to survive. Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to ask how long will this generation be left waiting for this kind of job opportunities?
Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, please respond.
Honorable Madam Deputy Speaker, I acknowledge the concern raised by the Honorable Member. The government is fully aware of challenge and has launched various skill development and employment schemes. Programs under Skill India Mission, Startup India and PM Mudra Yojana aims to create lakhs of jobs and promote self-employment opportunities.
Madam Deputy
Madam,
Speaker,
wait, let me complete. Madam, how can you speak in my time?
These schemes look impressive on the papers, but on the ground, reality tells a different story. Young people still continue to line up for a handful of jobs while millions remain unemployed. The government had promised 2 crores of jobs every year. I wish to ask, where are these promised jobs? Are the announcement actually replacing
Honorable
the
Member, please let the Minister finish.
Madam Deputy Speaker, employment generation cannot be seen in isolation. It is linked with overall economic activities. Nevertheless, the government recruitment drives are being accelerated and special focus on certain sector which is renewable energy, digital economy and manufacturing to absorb more youth.
Honorable Minister of Education.
Madam Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Minister has clearly explained the steps being taken by the government. But the opposition refused to accept the truth. While they keep spreading negativity, this government is working and delivering the results. Lakhs of young have gained the job through self-employment schemes. These are real achievements, not empty words. This has invested in education and digital platforms to prepare youth for a better future. So opposition should stop making the noise and start acknowledging the process made for the nation.
Honorable Minister of Health.
Madam Deputy Speaker, as a neutral member, I would like to point out that while initiatives exist, their implementation is uneven. Rural and semi-urban youth in particular still faces difficulties in accessing these opportunities. Stronger monitoring and quicker job creation are urgently needed.
Honorable Member, Ms. Abhinaya.
மாண்புமிகு துணை சபாநாயகர் அவர்களே, வெறும் வார்த்தைகள் மட்டும் மக்களின் வாழ்வாதார சிக்கல்களுக்கு தீர்வாக இருந்துவிட முடியாது. வேலையின்மையால் பாதிக்கப்படும் கோடிக்கணக்கான இளைஞர்களின் வாழ்க்கையை அரசின் அறிவிப்புகளும் அறிக்கைகளும் மட்டுமே மாற்றிவிடாது. வேலை வாய்ப்பு உருவாக்கம் குறித்து அரசு தொடர்ந்து வாக்குறுதிகளை மட்டும்தான் வெளியிடுகிறதே தவிர அவைகளில் எத்தனை நடைமுறைக்கு வந்துள்ளது? வேலை வாய்ப்பிற்கான வாக்குறுதிகள் மட்டும்தான் வெளியிடப்படுகிறது என்றால் எப்பொழுதுதான் எங்களுக்கான வேலை வாய்ப்புகளை ஏற்படுத்தி தரப்போகிறீர்கள் என்று எங்களுக்கு தெரியவில்லை. ஆகையினால் வேலை வாய்ப்புகள் எந்தெந்த துறைகளில் உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது, அவை நிரந்தரமானவையா அல்லது தற்காலிகமானவையா என்பதற்கான வேலை வாய்ப்பு நிலை அறிக்கையை அரசு இந்த அவை முன் சமர்ப்பிக்க வேண்டும். அது மட்டுமல்லாமல் எதிர்வரும் காலங்களில் வேலை வாய்ப்புகள் எப்பொழுது எவ்வாறு உருவாக்கப்படும் என்பதற்கான கால அவகாசத்தையும் சமர்ப்பிக்க வேண்டும். இந்த நாட்டின் இளைஞர்கள் இன்னும் எத்தனை காலத்திற்கு தான் வெறும் நம்பிக்கையோடு மட்டுமே வாழ்ந்துவிட முடியும்? இளைஞர்கள் எல்லாம் என்ன கேட்டுவிட்டார்கள்? அப்படி என்னதான் கேட்டுவிட்டார்கள்? கல்வி, திறன், உழைப்பிற்குரிய வேலை வாய்ப்புகளை தானே எதிர்பார்க்கிறார்கள். இளைஞர்களின் எதிர்காலம் குறித்த தெளிவான பதில்களை வழங்குவதும் அரசின் கடமைதானே. ஆகையினால் அரசு இந்த விடயத்தில் வெளிப்படை தன்மையுடனும் பொறுப்புணர்வோடும் செயல்பட வேண்டும் என்பதையும் வலியுறுத்துகிறேன்.
Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment.
Honorable Madam Deputy Speaker, I assure this House that the comprehensive employment status report will be submitted on the upcoming session. Further, we commit to involve both state government and private enterprises to expand job opportunities for our youth.
Very well. The House takes notes of the matter. Now, the session will be handed over to the Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I respectfully submit the proceedings of the previous sitting of the House. First, the House witnessed the administering of oath to the newly appointed ministers who took their oath of office and secretary before the chair. Thereafter, the House observed an obituary reference paying tribute to the departed dignitaries. Honorable members expressed the condolence and as a mark of respect, the House stood in silence. The proceedings then moved to the question hall and 0 hour was taken up thereafter. Subsequently, the Honorable Ministers laid various official papers and reports on the table of the House, a part of parliamentary procedure. A message from Upper House was reported to the House and duly recorded. Then a calling attention motion was moved by Honorable Opposition Member regarding the issue of rising unemployment among youth. The Minister for Labour and Employment responded on behalf of the government, outlined various employment initiatives. Members from Treasury benches, opposition and neutral member participated actively in the discussion, emphasizing need for effective implementation and urgent job creation. The House was then adjourned and the remaining proceedings is now placed before you, Madam, for the further discussion.
Well, Honorable members, the House has taken note of the summary placed before it by the Honorable Secretary General regarding the proceedings held earlier today. The matter raised earlier stands concluded. So in view of the time available, then the session will now proceed to the next agenda. Now we shall take up the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023, and the subject before this August House is of great national importance. So I request all honorable members to confine their observations strictly to the provision of the bill and to maintain decorum and participate constructively. I now call upon the Honorable Minister of Communication and Minister of Electronics and Information Technology to move the bill.
Madam, I move that the bill to provide for the processing of digital personal data in a manner that recognizes both the rights of individuals to protect their personal data and the need to process such personal data for lawful purposes and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto, as discussed in the previous session, be taken into consideration.
There are two motions by Dr. Soumya and Dr. Neha Goyal for reference of the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 as discussed in the earlier session. The honorable members may move the motion at this stage from their seats. As the members concerned are absent, the motions are not moved. So without any further delay, we shall move to the next stage of business. The motion for consideration of the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 is now open for discussion. I now call upon the members whose name has been received for the participation in the discussion.
Madam, the Minister should make opening remarks.
Yes, Minister, you may proceed with your opening remarks.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, in the past 9 years, the manner in which the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Pratibha Ji, has ushered in a new era by delivering services to the doorsteps of the poorest of the poor through Digital India across the nation is being discussed worldwide today. Today, upon observation, nearly 90 crore Indian citizens are connected through internet and are availing essential life services through digital transactions in every facet of their daily living. This remarkable achievement stems from the visionary foresight of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Pratibha Ji, जिन्होंने अपनी दूरदृष्टि से इस देश को नया आयाम दिया है. In such transformative circumstances where digital technology has become an integral part of our lives, this bill is presented today to safeguard citizens' personal data, particularly digital personal data. It would have been most gratifying had our esteemed opposition colleagues also participated in conferring this vital right upon 140 crore fellow countrymen. Historically, the opposition had shown no vigilance towards the rights of our countrymen, a fact amply evident from these vacant benches today. Anyway, I extend my sincere gratitude to those present here who through this august house are contributing to the noble endeavor of granting this vital right upon 140 crore fellow countrymen. Madam, I will now present before you the details of these obligations. Extensive consultations have preceded this bill. Work on it has been underway for nearly 6 years. A joint parliamentary committee had conducted over 100 meetings, consulted 48 organizations and 39 ministries, received approximately 24,000 comments, and after these detailed deliberations, this bill is now tabled.
This bill encloses the following 7 principles which are very important. If any organization collects the data of any citizen, whether it is a social media platform, the government or any other entity, the first principle they ought to follow is the principle of legality. Meaning the data collected must be used only in accordance with the law. The second is the principle of purpose limitation. That is, the data collected must be used only for the specific purpose for which it was taken. Third is the principle of data minimization, meaning only as much data should be collected as is necessary. Fourth is the principle of accuracy. If any change or correction is required in the data, the concerned citizen must be given the right to do so. Fifth is the principle of storage limitation. The data must be stored only as long as required to fulfill the purpose, and after that, the data must be deleted. The sixth is the principle of reasonable safeguards. All the reasonable safeguards must be taken to protect the citizen's personal data. Seventh is the principle of accountability. Whichever organization or entity is collecting the data is solely responsible for protecting the data and ensuring that all the rights given under this law are completely upheld. Madam, citizens have been given 4 rights under this Act. Right to access information. Citizens can access information on what personal data has been collected. Right to correction of personal data and right to erasure. If a person wishes that their personal data should not remain in social media platforms, this Act enables that. In many jurisdictions, this is also known as the right to be forgotten. Right to grievance redressal, which is very important as an effective mechanism has been created to address complaints. Right to nominate. In case of death or incapacity, a person can nominate someone for the decisions regarding their data. And for the implementation of these provisions, madam, a robust system has been proposed in this bill. An independent data protection board will be established, which will be digital by design, ensuring citizens residing in Delhi, Mumbai or Bengaluru or anywhere else can easily avail themselves of its services. And to promote compliance rather than fear, this bill introduces 2 progressive legal mechanisms. First is the voluntary undertakings and the second is the alternative dispute redressal mechanism. Most importantly, this bill reflects the government's commitment towards gender sensitivity. For the first time, the legislative draftings uses the words she and her instead of the conventional masculine terms, a symbolic and meaningful step towards respecting women's dignity. Concerns have been raised about RTI and privacy also, madam. After Puttaswamy judgment, right to privacy has become a fundamental right. This bill harmonizes the right to information with the right to privacy while continuing mandatory disclosures under existing laws such as Representation of People Act. It holds great value that this bill clearly lays out 3 key tests. Test of legality, legitimacy and proportionality in a very precise manner. Lastly, I would like to talk about the exemptions granted to the government in this bill. Madam, I wish to place before you that even the world's most stringent law, the GDPR, which is followed in Europe, provides 16 exemptions for the governmental functioning, legal framework and judicial activities. But in comparison, we have given only 4 exemptions in this bill. Therefore, this bill is pro-citizen, pro-privacy and very much in spirit of the government's commitment towards ensuring every citizen's data remains fully protected. I request all the honorable members to participate in debate and pass this bill with unanimous vote. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Minister Ms. Yogastri, your time has started.
Madam Speaker, this is a landmark bill. I only wish that this bill had been discussed more widely in this House with participation from all sides so that valuable suggestions could have been considered. As we all know, the Supreme Court in the Puttaswamy judgment declared the right to privacy as a fundamental right. This right is already given to our citizen by Constitution of India. What this bill does is, it explains how this right will be implemented in practice so that citizens do not approach the Supreme Court every time. Madam, Supreme Court ninda nidarsidda framework olagade iruva ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ purpose limitation, collection limitation, storage limitation, accountability ಮತ್ತು data quality. ಈ ಬಿಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಆಲೋಚನೆನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದುಗಡೆ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ ವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇವೆ. ಮೊದಲು ಸುಮಾರು 6 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಚರ್ಚೆಯ ನಂತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಳಿ ಕೊನೆಗೂ ಡೇಟಾ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಲಾ ಇದೆ. ಮೇಡಮ್, ಭಾರತ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಜಾತಂತ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಇರುವ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಇರುವ ಬಹಳ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈವಸಿ ಲಾ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬಿಲ್ಲು ಅಭಿನಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಸಚಿವರನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾಯ್ದೆನ ಸದಸ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಡಿಸಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Second, this is a gender neutral law. For the first time, the word her has been used in the central legislation, reflecting our strong commitment to women empowerment and is in line with the governance model of our Chief Minister. Third, the Supreme Court has clearly said that personal data must be protected. At the same time, data is important for growth of digital economy and the nation's development. Therefore, madam, a proper balance is necessary. I support the government decisions to avoid heavy compliance burden, especially at the initial stage. Fourth, the bill is simple and principle-based. The detail will set by rules, making it practical, flexible, and future-ready. Fifth, the bill contains illustration, which is very rare in government legislation. These illustrations will help the common citizen understand the law better. Sixth, the bill creates strong deterrent against the data breaches. It does not stop innovation, but ensures strict punishment, so data is treated responsibly. Even anonymous data, if linkable to an individual, is protected. This is a very positive step. Finally, madam, I draw attention to alternate dispute redressal in class 31. While voluntary compliance is welcome, class 32 subclass 4 need consideration. My concern is this: what if the affected citizen is not satisfied? This important aspect may need further consideration. With these words, Madam Speaker, I support the bill.
Honorable Member, Ms. Lipuja.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister. I think what you forgot to mention probably is that this is one of the landmark legislation of our country ever after independence. Because, as you said correctly, this is protecting the data of 141.4 billion Indians, male, female, children, and everyone. Here I come to some of the suggestions which I hope the Honorable Minister would concern. Firstly, while we are more eloquent about the data protection, I did not find certain words in the bill. The Supreme Court judgment was full of informational privacy all over. This privacy word is missing in the bill. The word compensation is missing in the bill. The word harm is missing in the bill. Bill mein ye sab kahan hai? In class 2, which has the definition, gain means and loss means, it generally interprets the entire data breach in financial term. My question is, what happened if there is a reputational loss because of a data breach? What happened if there is a bodily injury?
Honorable members, please maintain the silence. पहले बाइट चाहिए. Let the opposition place their views first. पहले बाइट चाहिए. शांत रखिए पहले.
You say you can use the IPC and CRPC to try that person, but the reputational breach for a woman is such stronger than that of a man, and reputational breach might even leads to suicides. So this is the point which I wish the Honorable Minister would clarify. My next point in class 3, which is relating to processing. It covers only Indians. It gives the description. So my clarification from the Honorable Minister would be this. In our fundamental rights, the word is person and not citizen. So that any person can enjoy the fundamental rights in our country. If it is Indians or anyone, what about the other countries' data processed in India? If there is a breach, what happens to that? The Honorable Minister said data minimization is one of the guiding principles. But unfortunately, there is no such provision. It is only limited to the purpose limitation. I am not reading the whole thing to say which is maintained by the state or any of its instrumentalities and is notified by the central government. I fail to understand why it is to be notified by the central government. There are state laws. State gives benefits. State gives subsidy, benefits, service, certificate, license, permits, a lot of these things. Everything is given by the state and governed by the state laws and state schemes. Then why should it to be notified by the central government? The Honorable Minister said digital by design. I think by design is more important because even 25% of people in rural India do not have any access to any devices or internet. Let us say in rural Odisha, the total internet intensity is just only 36%. So this is the point.
Honorable Member, please conclude.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Another point again at class 9, subclass 5 says central government may if satisfied that the data fiduciary has ensured that the processing of personal data for children is done in a manner. Here the state government have equal rights. Why should it not be the state government? Rajya Sarkar se kyun nahi honi chahiye? If a child privacy have been affected in Malkangari or let us say in Kashmir or Ladakh, why should the central government be all the time the one who has to run to get it notified or satisfied that the data fiduciary has made a mistake? My next point in class 17, where the minister talked about exemptions. But I think the proportionality aspect, which is one of the foundation of Puttaswamy judgment, is not even mentioned in the bill. I would suggest this has to come somewhere here. Reasonableness, fairness, necessity and proportionality. These four should have to come in. We may have the least number of exemptions, but we should.
Your time is up.
Madam, kindly give me one more minute with your permission.
Shift 30 seconds.
Madam,
Honorable members, please maintain the silence. Please maintain the decorum of the house.
Speaker's permission.
Honorable members, maintain silence. Honorable members, please maintain the silence. Pehle bite chahiye. I request every member of the parliament to take your seat. Pehle bite chahiye. Honorable members, pehle bite chahiye. आप सभी सदन बाधित कर रहे हैं. कृपया व्यवस्था बनाए रखें. हरीशा जी पहले बाइट चाहिए. लिपुजा जी पहले बाइट चाहिए. I request every member of the parliament to take your seat. आप सभी सदन बाधित कर रहे हैं. आप सदन के वेल में आकर गुस्सा करती हैं. ये कोई बाजार नहीं. मैं बार बार अनुरोध कर रही हूँ और फिर भी इस तरह से व्यवहार कर रही हैं. आप सभी माननीय सदस्य हैं. ध्यान में रखें. आपको इस गरिमा के अनुसार व्यवहार करना चाहिए, लेकिन आप जिस तरह से व्यवहार कर रही हैं वह बिल्कुल सही नहीं है. Before anything else, maintain the order of the house. Yes, Minister, please continue.
Thank you, Madam. Madam, by the way, the member is also representing Odisha, so she is with us. The point here is relating to the powers, functions and procedures to be followed by the board. It is clause 27. Now this particular board will be sitting in the judgment over possible data breach by the organizations like the central government, state government, chief minister's office, Supreme Court, High Court, chief election commissioner, CAG, all the constitutional bodies. So, do you think the current structure which has been prescribed would be sufficient to handle the data breach by these organizations which are themselves the constitutional bodies and impose penalty on them? In case such a breach has happened, the appellate tribunal. I think it is an innovation that they have done instead of building another tribunal.
Now I call upon the next speaker.
Madam, I will finish. I support this one particular thing because the Honorable Minister has already clarified the RTI aspect. But in RTI aspect, there is also a necessity of clarifying just one thing. It says information which relates to personal information. But the personal information has not been defined in the bill. It is personal data.
Ms. Lipuja, your time is up.
Madam, just last 30 seconds, it is about penalties. The penalties in this class 33 subclass 1 says penalty for a breach in observance of additional obligation.
Ms. Lipuja, your time is up. पहले बाइट चाहिए. समय बहुत कम है. पहले बाइट चाहिए.
आप जानते हैं penalty against children has to be much more stringent. या 200 crore rupee नहीं, बल्कि 250 crore rupee होनी चाहिए. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next, Honorable Minister, Ms. Soundarya.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my friend, Honorable Minister Yogeshri had mentioned another very interesting feature of this act, which is that they have used illustrations. Now, when I'm referring to laws very regularly, I go back to the Contract Act of the 19th century and few of the very old laws where illustrations have been used. After a very long time, this act uses illustrations for explaining a point which, as a senior counsel, I found very useful because some of these terms are very new to most of us. When I saw the illustrations, I could immediately understand what the section meant. So this is a very significant feature of the new legislative policy that the central government has undertaken. Madam, I sincerely compliment the Prime Minister, the Honorable Ministers and the government.
the bill starts off on a very interesting and important point, where it treats the person receiving the information as a fiduciary. So this is in the nature of a trust.
Madam Speaker, how can a common citizen trust a fiduciary when there is no
Honorable member, this is not your time. Please be seated. Let the minister finish first.
Madam Speaker, a fiduciary is not trusted by choice but bound by law, and law is the strongest guarantee. Madam, I think this itself sets the context and emphasizes the responsibility of the person who receives the information shared by an individual. So the use of the expression fiduciary, just one expression, quickly sets out the whole context of the responsibilities that are placed on them. So this is again very iconic and very quickly explaining the entire responsibility of the person. Clarity in law is the foundation of justice in a democracy. Madam, the strength of the bill lies in its clarity, and clarity is the first requirement of good law.
Honorable member, Ms. Dhanushri.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to speak on this bill with a sense of responsibility and constitutional duty. The positive aspect of the bill is simple, clear, and based on strong principles. I appreciate that the language of the bill is so effortless. It almost feels like a conspiracy against lawyers. Usually, when laws are complex, we, the lawyers, make money by explaining common citizen. Since this bill is so simple, it feels like the minister wants to keep lawyers out of business. And this bill uses illustration to explain complex provision. Such an approach has not been seen since the last Indian Contract Act. This helps citizens understand their rights and responsibilities clearly. It's a progressive step and deserves an appreciation. Yet, I have one serious objection to the bill, which I want to ventilate to the Honorable Minister personally. As Honorable Member Ms. Lipuja mentioned that she assured this House that right to privacy has laid down in this Puttaswamy judgment has to be fully protected. Such powers should be used carefully to avoid misuse in the future. Then, Madam, the second feature that I find is the cross-border processing that has been restricted. In certain sense, Clause 10.2 states that this act would be applicable for the cross-border processing of any information only if goods and services are provided in India. Hence, I suggest that the government may consider extending protection in cases where the personal data of Indian citizens is processed abroad and results in harm within India. Third, I would like to speak about the provision relating to children. Clause 9.5 empowers the central government to lower the age of consent from 18 years under certain conditions. While India has fixed 18 as the age of consent due to contractual capacities, many countries such as the UK, the US have adopted 13 as the threshold. Instead of granting this power on a data fiduciary basis, it may be better to adopt a sector-specific approach, such as education or non-monetary gaming platforms under state safeguards. Fourth, another important issue is exemption. I want to bring the government attention to the exemption provision for data fiduciaries class of data controls or startups. These exemptions should not be misused by the company that collect large amount of data in the name of innovation. So it must be conditional and closely monitored. If exemptions are unavoidable, citizens' data may remain vulnerable. Lastly, I welcome the introduction of the concept of a concern manager. It's an impressive step that empowers individuals to manage their concern more effectively. However, the operational details of how concern manager will function need to be clearly defined to prevent confusion and to avoid misuse.
You have 1 minute to conclude.
Yes, Madam, I'll finish. This bill is a forward-looking and balanced legislation. But still, on behalf of my party, I urge the government to incorporate these safeguards before the final implementation. With these concerns noted, I support this bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Now, Shri Kartika.
Madam Speaker, I stand here to support this bill on behalf of my party. Mana andariki telusu Bharata Desamlo digital sector lo unprecedented growth undi ani danlo sandeham ledu. Ade samayam mana daggara unna data ekkuvaga tayaru chesinappudu konni pramaadalu kuda desamlo perugutunnayi. Cyber criminals, hackers and even hostile countries might use lapses in our system to compromise on our database, thereby seriously affecting citizen security and the national security. ఈ విషయాన్ని ఘనమైన మంత్రి గారు దృష్టికి తీసుకువెళ్ళాలని అనుకుంటున్నాను. Then one more important issue is almost 1/3 of internet users are under 18 years of age. The new bill ensures that no organization or individual would be able to process the data of a minor person without the approval of parents or guardian, thereby ensuring a safe digital space where there is no danger about any form of harm. మనం టెలివిజన్స్లో మరియు న్యూస్ పేపర్స్లో చూస్తాము. ఈ డేటాని ఉపయోగించి చాలా మంది చిన్న పిల్లలను పరీక్షలకు గురి చేస్తున్నదన. I am sure this will protect them. At the same time, when it comes to the question of national security and maintaining law and order, what is accountability and responsibility? I am sure the Honorable Minister will throw light on this aspect. చివరి విషయం నేను మెడికల్ రీసెర్చ్ కోసం మెన్షన్ చేయాలని అనుకుంటున్నాను. We need data about medical profile of patients. Will this bill be detrimental to medical research which is based on statistics? ఈ ప్రత్యేకమైన బిల్ పెద్ద భాగం పొందుతుంది ప్రధాన మంత్రి గారి స్వప్నాలు నెరవేరడానికి to transforming India into a developed country with the digitization drive as one of the key pillars in a manner that would protect and never compromise our citizens' privacy and the security. With these words, Madam Speaker, I strongly support this bill.
Honorable Member, Ms. Inbasri.
Gauravaniya Okata, on behalf of my party and my leader, Neni Biligi Istamani. But there is only one issue which I would like to bring to notice of the Honorable Minister, me dwara. నేను ఒక 2 నిమిషం మాత్రం తీసుకున్నాను మేడం. ఇప్పుడు ఏ ఇష్యూ అంట టెలిఫోన్ ట్యాపింగ్ని ಎಲ್ಲ నిర్తాలో అంట సమ్ సైడ్ మేడం. టెలిఫోన్ ట్యాపింగ్ మొబైల్ ట్యాపింగ్ ఎట్ట నడిసిటానికి అది అత్తామే మన మొబైల్లో ఉండే స్పీకర్ ద్వారానో కెమెరా ద్వారా నడిసి we need not necessarily use the service provide or what is called telephone. Please see in the demonstration given by the foreign company madam ఏ యాప్ టానికి వాట్సాప్ ఉండవచ్చు ఫేస్బుక్ ఉండవచ్చు టెలిగ్రామ్ ఉండవచ్చు ఎటి సిగ్నల్ కూడా ఉండవచ్చు ఎనీథింగ్ క్యాన్ బి ట్యాప్డ్ మేడం ఇడ వాళ్ళు ఏ కండిషన్స్ చెప్పారట అమ్మే వాళ్ళు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ని గవర్నమెంట్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్గా అమ్మాలట కానీ పోలియో వేసి తీసేవాళ్ళు దాని నిండా ప్రైవేట్ ప్లేయర్స్ ఉంటారు మేడం వాళ్ళందరూ వాళ్ళ పర్సనల్ పర్పస్గా తీసేరు విత్ అల్టీరియర్ మోటివ్ మేడం నోట్ అల్టీరియర్ మోటివ్ நான் ఒక அகாடமிக் பர்பஸ்க்காக கொஞ்சம் நெகோசியேஷனும் என்கொயரினும் பண்ணித்தி அதில் ஏஜ் தெரிசுனா தெலவச்ச 15ல ఉండి 20 సాఫ్ట్వేర్ మాత్రం 50 కోటిలో ఉండి 100 కోటి వరే వచ్చే మేడం ஒருத்தா அத்த அஃபோர்ட் பண்ணி தீய முஞ்சினோ அதில் 20% வரை டாப்பிங் நடிச்சு மேடம் இப்போ నేను కూడా ఆపోజిట్ పార్టీ వాళ్ళకి బగ్ సెండ్ பண்ணி టాప్ பண்ணవచ్చు ரெட்ட వాళ్ళు కూడా నాకు బగ్ సెండ్ பண்ணி టాప్ பண்ணవచ్చు ఇదిదా వాళ్ళు చేస్తుంత్రి 2014లో ఉండి 2019 వరకు పీడీపీ పార్టీ స్టేట్ ని రూల్ பண்ணప్పుడు ఇదిదా వాళ్ళు బగ్ సెండ్ பண்ணி టాప్ பண்ணுత్రి
మీ దగ్గర ఏం సాక్ష్యాలు ఉన్నాయి నినిసలు వేస్తున్నారు
Sri Kartika, please be seated. Let the member finish. Please speak on the bill. You have 1 minute to conclude.
నేను ముడుచునేను మేడం but there is a possibility that the telephone can be tapped and the data can be procured. I request the Honorable Minister to find out the solution for this problem. I don't know whether the law is prevented or permanent. Finally, I want to know how the Honorable Minister is going to protect my personal data. Thank you, madam.
Next honorable member, Ms. Pritima.
Madam Speaker, I would like to convey my message in my mother tongue.
Yes, you may proceed.
என் கட்சியின் சார்பில் மாண்புமிகு அமைச்சர் சூரியஸ்ரீ கொண்டு வந்த டிஜிட்டல் தனிப்பட்ட தரவு பாதுகாப்பு மசோதாவை நான் ஆதரிக்கிறேன். இந்த மசோதாவை அறிமுகப்படுத்தியதிலும் அதனை நாடாளுமன்ற குழுவிற்கு அனுப்பியதிலும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். பல உறுப்பினர்கள் பரிந்துரைகள் வழங்கியுள்ளனர். அவர் அவற்றை கவனத்தில் எடுத்திருப்பார் என்று நான் நம்புகிறேன். ஆனால் இது எனக்கு சுகாதார தரவு குறித்து ஒரு கவலை உள்ளது. உடல்நிலை தொடர்பான தகவல்கள் மருத்துவமனையிலிருந்து சேகரிக்கப்படும் பொழுது அவற்றை எவ்வாறு பாதுகாக்கப் போகிறீர்கள்? மருத்துவமனைக்கு அமைச்சர் சென்றாலே ஊடகங்கள் அமைச்சருக்கு உடல்நலக்குறைவு அல்லது இதய கோளாறு ஏற்பட்டுள்ளது என்று தகவல்கள் வெளியிடுகின்றனர். இவை தனிப்பட்ட தகவல்கள் வெளியிடப்படுவதை குறிக்கிறது அல்லவா? இதை நீங்கள் எப்படி பாதுகாப்பீர்கள் என்று எனக்கு தெரியவில்லை. ஆனால் மிகவும் முக்கியமான ஒன்று, ஒருவருடைய தனிப்பட்ட பிரச்சனையை வெளியிடக்கூடாது. மருத்துவர்களுக்கு சிகிச்சை அளிக்க தகவல்களை அறியும் முழு உரிமை உள்ளது. ஆனால் அவை ரகசியமானவை. வழக்கறிஞர்கள் தங்கள் வாடிக்கையாளருடன் சில ரகசியங்களை வாதிக்கின்றனர். ஏனெனில் அந்த வழக்கில் அவர்கள் வாதிட வேண்டியிருக்கும். தற்பொழுது டிஜிட்டல் அமைப்புகள் வந்துவிட்டன. மாண்புமிகு உறுப்பினர் இன்பஸ்ரீ கூறியபடி நாம் பேசும் நேரத்திலே பெரும்பாலானவர்களின் தொலைபேசிகள் ஒட்டு கேட்கப்படுகிறது. அரசு சில குறிப்பிட்ட சந்தர்ப்பங்களில் தொலைபேசி ஒட்டு கேட்பு நடக்கிறது என்கிறது. அரசால் அரசியல்வாதிகளின் தொலைபேசி ஒட்டு கேட்பு காரணமாக பல ஊழல்கள் வெளிச்சத்திற்கு வந்துள்ளது என்பதை நீங்கள் அறிந்திருப்பீர்கள். இன்று ஆளும் கட்சி நாளை எதிர்க்கட்சியாக மாறுவதற்கு வாய்ப்புள்ளது. அப்போது இந்த வகையான தரவுகள் மற்றும் தகவல்கள் எங்கே செல்கிறது என்பதை கேள்வி. அதனால் குடிமக்களின் உரிமைகளையும் கடமைகளையும் ஒருபுறம் வரையறுக்கும், மறுபுறம் சட்டப்படி தரவை சேகரிக்க வேண்டிய பொறுப்புகளை நிர்ணயிக்கும் டிஜிட்டல் தனிப்பட்ட தரவு பாதுகாப்பு மசோதா சில அடிப்படை கோட்பாடுகளில் உருவாக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. மாண்புமிகு சபாநாயகர் அவர்களே, இது என்னவென்றே எனக்கு தெளிவாக தெரியவில்லை. நான் மேலும் எதை பேச? மிக்க நன்றி.
Before concluding the discussion, I now call upon the Honorable Leader of Opposition to place her views.
Madam Speaker, I rise today to express my views on Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023. There is no doubt that India needs a strong data protection law. In today's digital age, citizens share their personal information every day with banks, hospitals, schools, social media platforms, and even to the government. The recognition of privacy as the fundamental right by the Supreme Court makes it the duty of Parliament to provide a legal framework and to protect the personal data. In that sense, this bill is a timely and necessary step. I appreciate the government for bringing a simple principle-based law after years of consultation. This bill gives citizens important rights such as access to their data, correction, erasure, grievance redressal, and also places clear obligation on its data collectors to use data lawfully, securely, and only for the specific reasons. These elements are valuable and deserving of appreciation. However, Madam, while supporting this bill, it is my responsibility as leader of opposition to place certain concerns on record. The success of this law depends entirely on its implementation. A strong law in paper means nothing if enforcement is weak or selective. The government must ensure that Data Protection Board functions independently, fairly, transparently, without political or executive influence. The exemptions given to this government under this bill must be used sparingly and responsibly. National security and public order are important, but it should not become an excuse for mass surveillance or misuse of citizens' data. The principles of proportionality, reasonableness, and everything should be guided in a proper manner. This bill must be strengthened to clearly address harm and compensation. If a citizen suffers financial loss, reputational damage, or emotional distress due to the data breach, there must be a clear and effective mechanism for the compensation, and these gaps should be corrected through rules or future amendments. Next, the protection of children's data requires special care. The government must ensure that safeguards are not diluted and that any relaxation of these rules must be done with expert oversight and public accountability. Lastly, this law should not weaken any transparency or right to information. A proper balance must be maintained so that the privacy does not become a shield against the public accountability. Madam Speaker, we support this bill because the country needs it. But support does not mean silence. We expect the government to listen to constructive criticism, correct shortcomings, and ensure fair and uniform implementation. We support this legislation today, but we will also closely watch to its execution. The government is accountable to this House and to the people of India for how this law is implemented. With these words, I conclude my statement on this bill. Thank you.
Mananya Pradhan Mantri ji to address the House.
Honorable Speaker, the true measure of a nation's progress is not only how fast it adopts technology, but how wisely it protects its people while doing so. This bill is not just about data or technology. It is all about trust. Trust between citizens and institutions, trust in our digital system, and trust in the future which we are building for the next generation. In a democracy, trust is as important as innovation. India's digital journey has always been guided by inclusion, from the poorest household to the most advanced enterprises. Technology has reached every corner of our country. With this law, we affirm that every citizen, regardless of status or location, deserves dignity and protection in the digital space. Laws do not end responsibility, madam, they begin it. The passage of this bill places a special duty on the government, regulators and all data handlers to act with restraint, fairness and accountability. Power must always be exercised with responsibility and rights must always be protected with sincerity. This House has shown that consensus are possible on issues that affect every Indian. Let this law be implemented in the same spirit of care, balance and respect with which it has been debated. With humility and commitment, I assure the House that this legislation will serve the people, strengthen democracy and safeguard India's digital future. Dhanyavad, madam.
Honorable Minister Ms. Suryashree to reply to the discussion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Very important points have been raised by the honorable members during this discussion. I would like to respond to them in brief. First of all, I thank all the honorable members for this well-informed discussion. I would especially like to thank Dr. Lipuja and Ms. Dhanushree, both distinguished lawyers, for their valuable legal insights. Ms. Dhanushree rightly noted that the language of the bill has been kept simple. I assure her that it definitely won't be a lawyer's paradise. I thank her for recognizing this because it has always been the government's considered view that a law must be written in a manner a common citizen can read, understand and use it. Dr. Lipuja raised the concern that the principle of data minimization has not been included. Madam, it has been included. If one reads class 6 subclass 1, they can clearly find the principle of data minimization in it. The second concern raised relates to the voluntary undertakings under class 32 subclass 4. This provision applies only after the Data Protection Board has heard both the sides. That is why the word may has been consciously kept instead of shall. This ensures fairness, discretion, due process and adequately addresses the concern raised. The third concern raised relates to the applicability of law, including the cross-border data transfer as mentioned by the honorable members Ms. Inbashree and Ms. Dhanushree. Madam, data का ज़माना border नहीं मानता, लेकिन कानून का फर्क है कि हर नागरिक को अधिकार को पहचाने और सुरक्षित रखे. This is a rapidly evolving field. Almost every quarter a new development takes place. For example, generative AI has come. Hence, the government has deliberately drafted this bill to be technology agnostic. The objective is that, madam, the law must stand the test of time and should not require frequent amendments every time a new technology emerges. That is why this bill is framed primarily on principles and not on rigid prescriptions. This ensures flexibility. Several honorable members ने startups के संबंध में अपनी चिंता व्यक्त की है. मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहती हूँ कि जो carve-out दिया गया है वो सिर्फ compliance requirements तक सीमित है, core principles के violation के लिए नहीं. एक carve-out regulatory sandbox के माध्यम से innovation को प्रोत्साहित करता है और class 17 स्पष्ट करता है कि कुछ classes of data fiduciaries को regulatory flexibility देने के बाद कानून के सारे provisions पूरी तरह लागू होते हैं. Concerns have been raised about surveillance also, madam. I like to repeat to this house that this bill is focused solely on data protection. Surveillance remains governed under the existing laws and Supreme Court established procedure. Before concluding, madam, I would like to add two important points. First, it is about medical research. Medical research has been exempted under class 17 and health data, being personal data, remains fully protected. Lastly, India is a very diverse nation with rich cultural and linguistic heritage. That is why we made it mandatory that all the consent notice in all 22 languages mentioned in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Hereby, we are ensuring that this digital law reaches this last citizen standing in the last mile. I once again thank all the honorable members for this well-informed discussion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Well, the question is that the bill to provide for the processing of digital personal data in a manner that recognizes both the right of individual to protect their personal data and the need to process such personal data for lawful purposes for matters connected therewith and incidental thereto, as discussed by the earlier session, be taken into consideration. Honorable Minister Ms. Suryashree, to move that the bill be passed.
Madam, I move that the bill be passed.
The question is that the bill to consolidate amend the law relating to the establishment, regulation, powers and duties of Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 for matters connected therewith and incidental thereto be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will say A.
A.
Those who are in against will say no. The majority of members say A and the minority of members say no. I think A's have it, A's have it, A's have it. The motion is adopted. Now, the House shall proceed to the clause-by-clause consideration of the bill. The question is that clause 6 and 8 stands part of the bill. There are 2 amendments proposed in clause 6 and 3 amendments proposed in clause 8. Are you moving it? Those who are in favor will say A. Those who are in against will say no. The majority of members say A and the minority of members say no. I think A's have it, A's have it, A's have it. The motion is adopted. Honorable Minister Ms. Suryashree.
Madam, I move that the bill be passed.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor will say A. Those who are in against will say no. The majority of members say A and the minority of members say no. I think A's have it, A's have it, A's have it. The motion is adopted. That the bill stands withdrawn. The House is adjourned to meet at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Testing. Check. Testing. Check. Check. Check.
I invite all the dignitaries to come to the stage. I invite all the dignitaries to come to the stage.
Check.
Thank you, dignitaries. I invite our chairman sir, our vice chairman sir and other dignitaries to honor our today's chief guest. I invite our chairman sir, our vice chairman sir and other dignitaries on the dais to honor our today's chief guest. Thank you, dignitaries. I invite our today's special chief guest, Professor Dr. John Palmer Victor, sir, to share some words.
First of all, I'd like to say Vanakkam. Thank you very much. I can't speak other language. I speak Tamil. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone, especially our chairman, sir, vice chairman, sir, and all the other person here, and also my brother, Ravi, and my sister, Tamil Chelvi, Prasad, and everybody. And first of all, I think before we go any further, I think I have to add soft to you all. Actually, what I saw here, it's not a mock parliament. I saw a real parliament. And I just told them, you people are simply didn't prepare. It is in your blood. It is in your blood. I think I also told your chairman that I can see future ministers are here. And all of you all are outstanding. Keep up the good job. And there's no words I can describe. You people are simply awesome. Okay? And last but not least, I think glory and honor, I think all this belongs to God Almighty. and keep up the good work. And my brother will have a lot of good news for you coming up soon. All right? And I think wait for that. Thank you very much.
I extend my heartfelt gratitude for you for inspiring address, sir. Next, I invite Mr. Ravindran Venkateswamy, sir, to say some words.
Very good afternoon to everyone. Chairman, sir, Mr. Kupsami, Vice Chairman, sir, Brother John, my wife, okay, and rest of everyone on the floor, especially students, well done. Okay, a little bit about myself. As you all know, my name is Ravindran Venkateswamy. I'm serving in Malaysian Parliament for almost 18 years now. I'm one of the senior there. I'm senior to the extent even the gardener knows me there. Malaysian Parliament gardener also knows me there. That kind of senior. What I observed today is I don't see students here. What I saw, the spirit of immerse into Parliament, the actual Parliament, okay? That's what I saw. I have written down there a couple of names which really took my attention in their quality debates. Very good substance of argument, okay? It's not just making noise, substance of argument. And on the government side, I noticed very good representation of their post, of some ministers. Another thing remarkable here, representations of various diversity of languages, which is remarkable. Okay. Ministry of Railways. Good job, Ma. Good job. The question raised by Ministry of Railways by? Excellent, Ma. Ministry of Rural Development. Well done, Ma, well done. Ministry of Heavy Industries. Good. You need to be more bold, Ma. Very good. Okay, thank you. And my own ministry, I was serving in the Ministry of Human Resource in Malaysia. So the same industry here is Ministry of Workforce, right? Human Resource, yeah. Ministry of Human Resource? Labor, yeah, Ministry of Labor, that's Human Resource. Those things really strike me was the employment plus the skill development. See, in the year 2003, I was sent by my government to Delhi for the Youth Skill Development Program. Okay? In your argument, I don't know whether you all know or not, the actual situation was there. So I was a bit taken up by that. Well done, well done. Okay? Ministry of Telecommunication and Digital Marketing. Surya Sri. A round of applause. Well done, Ma. Bright future is waiting for you. Okay? I would like to tell you all something. I am not from political science background. I did MBA. Okay? But because of love of the country, love of my people, I came into politics. It's not because of the political science background. So I believe all of you, apart from your education, your achievement, your dream. The love of the country should be the first for you to be here. Patriotism, okay? When you are patriotic, you want to serve your nation, you want to serve your people, you do better. For that, we need a quality debate in the parliament. Parliament decides every bit of our day-to-day life. Remember, every bit, up to from the price, from the policy, from everything. That's why it's called House of August. It decides on everything. So, what I saw today, good substantial debates, quality of debate. Our Prime Minister, something on our opposition leader. Please wake up, ma. You are good in your points, but as an opposition leader, ma, I was in the opposition party for almost 15 years. Opposition. Then my party became the ruling party, the current ruling party of Malaysia. Yeah, we are in the current ruling party of Malaysia. But we were sitting there patiently for 15 long years. But we was fighting, we was voicing out. You are good, you need to be more bold, a bit more aggressive. Thank you, ma. Okay, I would like to read some names before finally. Abhinaya, PSC. Very, very remarkable mother tongue speech. Very bold. The pronunciation is very clear. Again, Suryasri. Thank you, ma. Libuja. Okay, one thing about Libuja. I noticed she's not only bringing out the points, she's also emotionally speaking it out. We are humans, you know. We need that emotion. When it comes to our country, our people, that emotion must come out. Okay? Wonderful, ma. Finally, Dhanushri. Good job, ma. And well done. Okay, coming back to my part of the story. All right? Since I'm serving in Parliament, I'm the political secretary for MP now. It's called, the constituency is called Klang. See, political job is like a sea. MP is important, member of parliament or the MLA. More important are their officers. For a minister in Malaysia, we got 7 main officers. 7 main officers for a minister in Malaysia. The media officer, media secretary, personal secretary. The main person is political secretary, which is my post, political secretary. Parliamentary officers, operational officers, policy officers. So these are the main important officers for a, that's why those who are MPs, elected rep, or go to election, they win. Everybody in politics, when they like politics, they desire politics, they think about the MP. Remember, in a war, the front line die first. Okay? So, if you desire politics, there's a lot of layers of work to be done. So, as a frontliner, even the people backing you up as officers are extremely important. I have been working for 4 general election of Malaysia. This is my 4th term in the parliament. Okay, even the current opposition people knows me very well. We are friends. See, in Malaysia, one thing is very, very good. Our maturity is there. There's no enmity. All of us are friends. There's no enmity. We don't hit anybody below the belt. We never do that. We don't attack below the belt. So we maintain the maturity. In politics, maturity is extremely important. Dignified politics. Okay, very, very dignified politics is important. Not personal attacks. That is always must be maintained. The other thing is, I spoke to the vice chairman, I spoke to the chairman as well, and my brother John, that we will extend programs for you all in Malaysia. Okay, we will have internship programs. We will pick some students. We have the advisor, the vice chairman will advise us. We'll have a couple of internships, trainings in Malaysian. We'll bring you to Malaysian Parliament. I hope this announcement will encourage you all and many more to come. See, my duty here, when I step in here, is to empower our Vivekananda College. That is my duty. That is my promise to chairman, our vice chairman. Anyway, I'm not doing something great. This place is already great. Your chairman is doing a wonderful job to you all. And this is the real women empowerment. By saying this, I wish all of you a greater future, Ma. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your words. Guidance of today creates leaders for tomorrow. I invite Professor Dr. S. Kuppusamy, Executive Director of Vivekananda Educational Institutions, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. In the mock parliament நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த விழாவில் தலைமையேற்று இதை நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கும் விவேகானந்தா கல்லூரியின் நிறுவனர் மற்றும் தாளாளர் ஐயா மு. கருணாநிதி அவர்களே, இன்று சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்களாக வந்து இந்த அவையை அலங்கரித்து அவர்களது பார்வையில் இந்த மாக் பார்லிமெண்ட் எப்படி சென்றது என்பதை கூறி சென்றிருக்கும் டாக்டர் ப்ரொஃபஸர் ஜான் பாலிமர் விக்டர் அவர்களே, உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் உண்மையிலேயே ஒரு பார்லிமெண்ட் நடக்கும் பொழுது எப்படியெல்லாம் இருக்கும் என்பதை கூர்ந்து கவனித்து அவரது அனுபவத்திலிருந்து ஒரு நபரனுடைய ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி பற்றியும் அப்சர்வ் பண்ணி உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு நியூஸை கொடுத்து அமர்ந்திருக்கும் அருமை சகோதரர் ரவீந்திரன் வெங்கடசாமி அவர்களே, நமது நிறுவனத்தின் வைஸ் சேர்மன் டாக்டர் கிருபாநிதி அவர்களே, டாக்டர் தீனதயாளன் த கண்ட்ரோலர் ஆஃப் எக்ஸாமினேஷன் இன்றைய பிரின்சிபல் இன்சார்ஜ் அவர்களே, எல்லாவற்றையும் உங்களை எல்லாம் இயக்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கும் உங்கள் ஹெட் ஆஃப் த டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் அவர்களே, ஐக்யூஎஸ்சி டைரக்டர், அப்புறம் ஃபேக்கல்டி டெவலப்மெண்ட்னுடைய டைரக்டர், பேராசிரியர்கள், மாணவ செல்வங்கள், உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் மீண்டும் எனது மதிய வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். எல்லாவற்றிற்கும் நான் மேலே தொடர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி இன்றைக்கி அவர் ரவீந்திரன் வெங்கடசாமி அவர்கள் வந்து அவருடைய அரசியல் ரீதியாக பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் கிட்டத்தட்ட பல ஆண்டுகள் பல பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் பார்த்துருக்காங்க, மற்ற நாடுகளுடைய தொடர்பு கொண்டு அவங்களுடைய அனுபவத்தை எல்லாம் உங்களிடம் பகிர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார். இது ஒரு சிறப்பான வேலைன்னு தான் நான் சொல்ல முடியும். இது எதிர்பார்க்காதது, நம்மளுடைய எம்பி வந்திருக்கணும், அவர் வரல, அதை ஃபில் பண்ணுறதுக்கு கேப்பு அவர் வந்ததில் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். அதற்காக அவருக்கு இந்த நிறுவனத்தின் சார்பாகவும் உங்கள் சார்பாகவும் எனது நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நீங்கள் இதுக்கு எல்லாம் ஒரு உந்துகோலாக இருக்கணும். நம்ம சேர்மன் சொல்லும்போது நான் நிறைய செஞ்சிட்ருக்கேன், ஆனால் எனக்கு பின்னாடி ஒரு பக்கப்பலன்னு இருக்குன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதே மாதிரி அதாவது சகோதரர் ரவீந்திரன் வெங்கடசாமி அவர்களுக்கும் ஒரு பக்கபலம், சக்தி, ஒருத்தர் பின்னாடி இருந்து எல்லாத்தையும் அவங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துட்ருக்காங்க. அந்த சக்தி வேறு யாரும் இல்லை, இங்கே அங்கே பின்னாடியே உட்காந்துருக்க அமைதியாக உட்காந்துருக்கிற மிஸ்ஸஸ் தமிழ்ச்செல்வி ரவீந்திரன் அவர்கள். ஏன்னா இந்த நேரத்தில் உங்களுக்கு அவங்கள பற்றி நான் ஓரிரு வார்த்தைகள் சொல்லணும். அவங்கள பார்த்தா இவ்வளோ அமைதியாக இருக்காங்கன்னு நினச்சிட்டு ரொம்ப நீங்கள் நினச்சிட்டு இருக்கக்கூடாது. அவர்களுடைய இங்கே பூர்வீகம் நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு தான். இங்கே ஐ திங்க் நாகர்கோவில், கன்னியாகுமரி, திருச்சி பக்கம். அவங்களுடைய பூர்வீகம் திருச்சி பக்கம். அவர்களுடைய பாட்டி அஞ்சலை அப்படின்றவங்க அந்த காலத்தில், அதாவது ப்ரீ இண்டிபெண்டன்ட், நமக்கெல்லாம் சுதந்திரம் கிடைக்காத சுதந்திரத்துக்காக பாடுபடும் பொழுது சுபாஷ் சந்திர போஸ், நீங்கள்லாம் நிறையா படிச்சிருப்பீங்க, அவரால் தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டு இந்தியன் நேஷனல் ஆர்மியில் ஜான்சி ராணியோட பணியாற்றியவங்க அவங்க பாட்டி. அப்படின்னா அவங்களுக்குள்ள எப்படி ஒரு மன உறுதி இருக்கும். ஏன்னா டிஎன்ஏ நீங்கள்லாம் படிச்சிருப்பீங்க, மரபணுவில் வந்தது. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்க இந்த தருணத்தில் அவங்களையும் நம்ம ஒரு அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது. நான் சேர்மன் ஐயா அவர்களை அவர்களுக்கு ஒரு பொன்னாடை போற்றி ஒரு பாராட்டணும்னு கேட்டுக் கொடுக்குறேன். அதாவது இது எதுக்காக நான் இதை சொன்னேன் அப்படின்னா, எல்லோருடைய வாழ்க்கையிலையும் ஏதோ ஒரு தூண்டுகோல் இருக்கணும். அதன் மூலமாக நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில் முன்னேற முடியும் அப்படின்றது. இப்போ இங்கே இந்த காலையில் நம்ம இந்த பார்லிமெண்ட் செஷன், மார்க் பார்லிமெண்ட் செஷனை பார்க்கும் பொழுது உங்களுக்கு ஒருத்தருடையும், அதாவது ஒருத்தருக்கும் ஒரு தனி சிறப்புகள் இருக்கிறது, ஒரு டேலண்ட் இருக்குது. அந்த டேலண்ட்டை நீங்கள் உங்களுக்குள்ளே ஊக்குவிச்சு அதை எப்படி வருங்காலத்தில் இந்த நாட்டுக்கும் இந்த சமுதாயத்திற்கும் ஓகே அதாவது அந்த ஊக்கத்தை வச்சுக்கிட்டு நீங்கள்லாம் எப்படி பண்ண முடியும், நீங்கள் இல்லைன்னா கூட பின்பக்கம் இருந்து நீங்கள் அவங்களையெல்லாம் இயக்க முடியும் அப்படின்றது. அவர் ரவீந்திரன் ஐயா அவர்கள் ஒருத்தரை பாராட்ட மறந்துட்டார். நம்ம அந்த சபாநாயகரனுடைய திவான் ரொம்ப வாழ்த்துக்கள்மா. ஸோ இதிலிருந்து தெரியதான் உங்களுடைய இந்த மார்க் பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் எல்லா இதையும் எவ்வளவு கூர்மையாக கவனிச்சிருக்காரு. இதை மறந்துட்டுமேன்னு அவங்கள ஜஸ்ட்டு பார்த்த உடனே அவருக்கு தோணி எங்கிட்ட சொல்லியிருக்காரு. அவங்களையும் பாராட்டணும் அப்படின்றது. இது காரணம் என்னென்னா, நீங்கள் ஒருத்தர் ஊக்குவிக்க கண்டிப்பாக உங்களுக்குள்ளே இருக்கக்கூடிய திறமைகள் வெளியே வரும். அதனால் நீங்கள் பெட்டராக பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது தான். நான் கடந்த 3 ஆண்டுகளாக மிஸ் பண்ணாத எவ்வளவோ வேலைகள் இருந்தும் இன்றைக்கி வரக்கூடாதுன்னு நினச்சிக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன். வர முடியாதுன்ற சூழல் இருக்குன்னு நினச்சேன். ஆனால் இவங்கெல்லாம் வரும் பொழுது என்னால் தவிர்க்க முடியல. பார்த்ததில் எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். மிக அருமையாக செய்கிறீங்க. ஆண்டுதோறும் இதை நடத்துறது மட்டும் இல்லாத நீங்கள் ரியல் லைஃப்லேயும் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணி வருங்காலத்தில் நீங்கள்லாம் ஒரு சமுதாயத்துக்கு சேவை செய்யக்கூடியவங்கள, இதர் ஆளுங்கட்சியாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, எதிர்கட்சியாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, எந்த கட்சியில் இருந்தாலும் சரி, நாம் நம் சமுதாயத்திற்கு ஏதோ ஒரு விதத்தில் உழைக்க வேண்டும், உபயோகமாக இருக்க வேண்டும் அப்படின்றதில் அந்த விழிப்புணர்வை உங்கள் மத்தியில் மட்டும் இல்லாமல் இங்கே மற்ற மாணவிகள்லாம் இருக்கிற இடத்துல நீங்களும் அதையெல்லாம் உணர்ந்துக்கணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டுக்கொண்டு இந்த வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
இந்த தருணத்தில் நாங்கள் சேர்மன் அவர்களை பேச அழைப்பதற்கு முன்னாடியே ஒரு டாக்டர் ஜான் பால்மர் விக்டர் அவர்கள் அதாவது பால்மர்ஸ் 7C ஃபார் ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு புக்கு எழுதியிருக்காங்க. அது மலேசியாவில் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணி விற்பனைக்கு அவருடைய அனுபவங்களை வச்சு அதை எழுதியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு தொழில் முனைவோர் ஆகிறதுக்கு என்னென்ன உத்திகள்லாம் தேவை அப்படின்றத பற்றி அவர்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் கற்றுக்கிட்ட பாடத்தை வச்சு அவங்க ஒரு புத்தகமாக வடிவமைச்சிருக்காங்க. அதை நேற்று நம்மளுடைய அகாடமிக் லீடர்ஸ்கெல்லாம் ஒரு நாள் ஒர்க் ஷாப் மாதிரி நேற்று காலையில் 9:00 ஈவினிங் 6:30 மணி வரைக்கும் அதை செஞ்சாங்க. அந்த புக்கை நம்ம இந்தியாவில் பிரிண்ட் பண்ணி பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணி சேல் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு ரைட்ஸை அங்கம்மாள் எஜுகேஷ்னல் ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு நம்மளுடைய கல்லூரியினுடைய ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு வழங்கியிருக்காங்க. அதில் முக்கியமான நோக்கம் என்னென்னா அவரில் சொன்னார், அதனால் வரக்கூடிய லாபம் ஒரு பைசாவை கூட எனக்கு வேண்டாம், அதை நீங்கள் ட்ரஸ்ட்டில் போட்டு படிக்க முடியாத அதாவது ஃபினான்ஷியலாக நீடியாக இருக்கிற மாணவிகளுக்கு கொடுத்த உதவிய ஸ்காலர்ஷிப்பாகவும் அகடமிக் டெவலப்மெண்ட்டுக்காகவும் நீங்கள் அதை செலவு பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றதோட சொல்லி இதை அந்த புக்கை நம்ம நேற்று ரிலீஸ் பண்ணோம். பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, இல்லைன்னா யூடியூப்பில் போய் பாருங்கள். நேற்று அந்த புத்தகம் வெளியீட்டு விழா நடந்துச்சு. மற்ற கெஸ்ட்டு முன்னாடி அந்த வெளியீட்டு விழா நிறைவேற்றணும். அதுக்காக ஒரு MOU அக்ரிமெண்ட், ஒரு மெமோரண்டம் ஆஃப் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் என்ன சொல்கிறேன்னா, அந்த காப்பி ரைட்ஸ் ஃபுல்லாக நம்மளுடைய அங்கம்மாள் எஜுகேஷனல் ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு கொடுக்கறதுக்காக இன்றைக்கி ஒரு MOU சைன் பண்ணுறது. இந்த அக்கேஷனில் இந்த மார்க் பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் அதுவும் எதேச்சியாக நடக்கிறதுக்காக நான் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறேன். நீங்களும் எல்லோரும் சந்தோஷப்படுவீங்க. We will request them to sign the MOU which he is giving it for Indian market மட்டும் இல்லை, குளோபல் மார்க்கெட்டுக்கும் நீங்கள் விற்றுக்கலாம், ஆன்லைனில் விற்றுக்கலாம், ஆஃப்லைனில் விற்றுக்கலாம், எல்லாத்துக்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணலான்ட்டு எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ் ரைட்ஸ் நம்ம அங்கம்மாள் எஜுகேஷனல் ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க.
Thank you, dignitaries. I invite Vidya Ratna Professor Dr. M. Karunanithi sir, Chairman and Secretary of Vivekanandha Educational Institution and Hospitals, to deliver the presidential address.
விவேகானந்தா கலை மற்றும் அறிவியல் கல்லூரியின் பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ், ஹிஸ்ட்ரி அண்ட் எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் மாணவிய செல்வங்கள் நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த யூத் பார்லிமெண்ட் அரங்கனில் வீட்டிற்கக்கூடிய மதிப்புக்கும் மரியாதைக்கும் உரிய பிரதம மந்திரி அவர்களே, மதிப்புக்குரிய எதிர்க்கட்சி தலைவர் அவர்களே, சபாநாயகர் அவர்களே, டெப்டி சபாநாயகர் அவர்களே, ஆளும் கட்சி பார்லிமெண்ட் உறுப்பினர்களே, எதிர்க்கட்சி பார்லிமெண்ட் உறுப்பினர்களே, அவையில் வீட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய பிரதான பொறுப்பை ஏற்று அமைச்சராக பொறுப்பேற்று அமர்ந்திருக்கக்கூடிய அத்துணை அமைச்சர்களே, இந்த பார்லிமெண்ட் அரங்கனில் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கிற நிகழ்வினை பார்ப்பதற்கு எங்களுக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பை கொடுத்து நாங்கள் மேடையில் அமர்ந்திருக்கின்றோம். இன்றைக்கு இந்த வாய்ப்பில் இந்த அரங்கினிலே சிறப்பு விருந்தினராக மதிப்புக்கும் மரியாதைக்கும் உரிய திரு டாக்டர் ராஜேஷ்குமார் அவர்கள், பிரசன்ட் ராஜ்யசபா எம்பி அவர்கள் வருகை புரிந்து இந்த விழாவினை நடத்தி கொடுக்க ஒத்துக்கொண்டிருந்தார். தவிர்க்க முடியாத காரணங்களினால் அவரால் வர முடியவில்லை. இருப்பினும் நம்முடைய அதிர்ஷ்டம் வீணாகவில்லை. நேற்றுக்கு இரவு தான் உங்களுடைய இன்விடேஷனை வந்து சார், நம்முடைய மலேசியாவிலிருந்து வருகை புரிந்திருக்கக்கூடிய சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்கள் நம்முடைய வீட்டில் வந்து சாப்பிட்டுட்டு கெஸ்ட் ஹவுஸுக்கு போகும் பொழுது இன்றைக்கி வேறு ப்ரோக்ராம் வச்சுருந்தாங்க. இன்றைக்கி மார்னிங் அவங்களுடைய ஷெட்யூல் வேறு, இன்றைக்கி ஈவினிங் கிளம்பும்போது மார்னிங் ஷெட்யூல் வேறு ப்ரோக்ராம் இருந்துச்சு. வீட்டில் அந்த மெம்பர் ஆஃப் யூத் பார்லிமெண்ட்டோடைய இன்விடேஷனை எடுத்து, சார் நாளைக்கு வந்து நம்முடைய யூத் பார்லிமெண்ட் நம்முடைய மாணவிய செல்வங்கள் நடத்துகிறாங்க, இதை பார்க்குறதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு நேரம் கிடைக்குமான்னு கேட்டேன். எடுத்து பார்த்தாங்க. மார்னிங் அத்தனை ப்ரோக்ராமே நம்ம போஸ்ட்போன் பண்ணிவிட்டு முதல்ல யூத் பார்லிமெண்ட் நாங்கள் வந்து அட்டன் பண்ணுறோம். அதில் எங்களுடைய எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அதிகம் இருக்குது. உங்களுடைய மாணவிய செல்வங்கள் எவ்வாறு அந்த பார்லிமெண்ட்டை நடத்துகிறாங்கன்னு நான் கட்டாயம் பார்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரே செகண்டில் அக்செப்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்து மேடையில் அமர்ந்திருக்கக்கூடிய மதிப்புக்கும் மரியாதைக்கும் உரிய ரவீந்திரன் வெங்கடசாமி அவர்களே, டாக்டர் ஜான் அவர்களே, மதிப்புக்குரிய தமிழரசி ரவீந்திரன் அவர்களே, வைஸ் சேர்மன் இடி சார், டீன் டாக்டர் தீனதயாளன் மற்றும் இந்த விழாவினை இந்த அரங்கில் ஒருங்கிணைந்து நடத்தி கொடுத்து கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய 3 துறைகளைச் சேர்ந்த பேராசிரியர் பெருமக்கள், துறை தலைவர்கள், அத்துணைக்கு மேலாக இந்த விழா அரங்கினிலே அமர்ந்து கொண்டு பார்வையாளர்களாக அமர்ந்து கொண்டு உங்களுடைய பார்லிமெண்ட் நடக்கக்கூடிய முறையினை கவனித்து கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய எனது அன்பு மாணவிய செல்வங்கள், உங்கள் அத்தனை பேருக்குமே எனது மனம் கனிந்த வணக்கம். உண்மையிலேயே நாங்கள் வந்து கீழே உட்காந்து பார்க்கும்போது அவங்க ஸ்பெஷல் கெஸ்ட் எல்லாமே ஆச்சரியப்பட்டு தான் போனோம். ஒரு பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் உட்காந்துருக்கிற ஒரு நிகழ்வு, ஒரு மன நிறைவு தான் எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் கிடைச்சிது. நான் லாஸ்ட் டைம் அட்டன் பண்ணினேன். முதல் பார்லிமெண்ட்டு நான் அட்டன் பண்ணலை, லாஸ்ட் இயர் நான் அட்டன் பண்ணேன். இந்த வருஷம் இது செகண்ட் டைம் நான் அட்டன் பண்ணுறேன். லாஸ்ட் இயரே எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருந்துச்சு. 2-3 டைம் யூடியூப்பில் போட்டு ரிப்பீட் பண்ணி நான் பார்த்தது. அந்த அவங்கள பேசின பேச்சு, அந்த ஒவ்வொரு முறையும் நடக்கும் பொழுது அதுக்கு மேலே தான் நீங்கள் போயிட்டுருக்கிறீங்க. லாஸ்ட் டைம் நடந்ததுக்கு அதுக்கு மேலே இந்த வருஷம். இதெல்லாம் ஒரு சாதாரண சாத்தியமே கிடையாது. ஒரு மனப்பாடம் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு வரலாம், பேசும்போது தடுமாற்றம் வரலாம், லைனை மாறி போயிடலாம், மிஸ் பண்ணலாம், கொஞ்சம் யோசனை பண்ணலாம், ஒரு பேப்பர் எடுக்கலாம், அதை பார்த்து பேசலாம். இது எல்லாமே கம்ப்ளீட்டாக இக்னோர் பண்ணிவிட்டு உங்களுடைய தனித்திறமையை, அந்த உங்கள் பிளட்டில் கலந்துருக்குன்னு ஜான் சார் சொன்னாங்க இல்லையா, அந்த கலந்த அந்த 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 ஒரு உத்வேகத்தை வந்து நீங்கள் வெளிப்படுத்தினதெல்லாம் எங்களால் வந்து அவ்வளோ ஆச்சரியப்பட வச்சுது. ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கு நான் வந்து தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் ஒவ்வொருத்தர் பேரே சொல்கிறத விட பேசணும் அத்தனை பேருமே யார் மைக்கை பிடிச்சி எழுந்திரிச்சு பேசுனீங்களோ, உங்களுடைய கருத்தை சொன்னீங்களோ, ஆர்கியூமெண்ட்டில் சொன்னீங்களோ, அதை விட கைதட்டுனது அதுக்கு மேலே சந்தோஷம். அதுக்கு மேலே தனித்திறமை வேணும். அந்த டெஸ்கில் கைதட்டுற ஸ்டைல் இருக்குது பார்த்தியா, அது என்றைக்கு பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் போய் பார்த்துட்டு வந்தால் தான் நீங்கள் அதுக்கு மாதிரி கைதட்ட முடியும். ஸோ அதுக்கு மேலே அதை வந்து அந்த கைதட்டல் முறையும் கொடுத்து நீங்கள் நடத்தினீங்க. ரெண்டாவது ஆர்கியூமெண்ட்டில் அப்படியே ஃபைட் பண்ணிக்கிற மாதிரியெல்லாம் பண்ணினது. அந்த பேசுகிற பொழுது நம்ம நிர்மலா சீதாராமன் ஸ்டைலெலாம் ஒருத்தர் பேசினாங்க. அவங்க எப்படி கை காமிப்பாங்களோ, அது எந்த ஸ்டைலில் பேசணும் அந்த ஸ்டைலெலாம் பேசினாங்க. புரியுதுங்களா? இந்த சூர்யா சீரியெல்லாம் அதுக்கு உதாரணமாக நான் எடுத்துக்கலாம். அவங்களாம் பார்த்துருந்தாங்கன்னா அவங்கள கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிடுவாங்க, நேராக பார்லிமெண்ட்டுக்கே கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிடுவாங்க, டெஃபினட்டாக கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிடுவாங்க. ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கும் ஒருத்தர் சோட போகலை. அவ்வளோ பிரமாதமான ஒரு பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் நீங்கள் நடத்தி கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க. அதுக்கு மேலே ஸ்பீக்கர் மேலே உட்காந்துருந்தாங்க. முதல்ல டெப்டி ஸ்பீக்கர் நடத்தினாங்க, அவங்களும் அருமையாக நடத்தினாங்க. அடுத்த வாய்ப்பு ஸ்பீக்கரை கொடுத்தாங்க. அந்த ஸ்பீக்கர் டெப்டி ஸ்பீக்கர் 2 பேரும் நடத்தின முறைகள் எப்படி நடத்தணும், அதுக்கு மேலே போகணும் அப்படின்னா லாங்குவேஜஸ். தமிழ் பேசினாங்க, தமிழுக்கு பாராட்டினாங்க. அடுத்தது ஆந்திர மொழி, தெலுங்கு பேசினாங்க, கன்னடம் பேசினாங்க, ஹிந்தி பேசினாங்க, மலையாளம் பேசினாங்க. இன்னும் என்ன வேணும்? இதுக்கு மேலே நம்ம வந்து சொல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை. எல்லோரும் என்ன எதிர்பார்க்குறாங்க அப்படின்னா, இந்த பார்லிமெண்ட் செஷனில் இன்றைக்கி கலந்துக்கிட்டு நீங்கள் இந்த பார்லிமெண்ட்டை நடத்துனது மட்டும் போதாது, உங்களுடைய அடுத்த லெவல் என்ன, அடுத்த ஸ்டெப்பு என்ன, முடிச்சுட்டு போய் டிகிரி வாங்கிட்டு வீட்டில் போய் இருக்கிறதா அப்படிங்கிறது கிடையாது. ஒவ்வொரு வருஷமும் நீங்கள் பார்லிமெண்ட் செஷனில் கலந்துக்கக்கூடிய மாணவிய செல்வங்கள் ஏதாவது ஒரு லெவலில் அடுத்த லெவல் நீங்கள் போய் உட்காரணும். அதை அந்த 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 ஸ்டேஜை பிடிக்கிறதுக்கு ஸ்டெப் எடுக்கணும். மனசில் அந்த உறுதி வேணும், ஒரு ஃபோக்கஸ் வேணும். அப்படி இருந்தால் தான் நம்மளுடைய விவேகானந்தாவில் வந்து ஒவ்வொரு முறையும் நம்ம நடத்தக்கூடிய பார்லிமெண்ட் செஷனில் வந்து நம்ம இந்த வருஷம் நடத்தின பொண்ணு இன்றைக்கி இந்த ஸ்டேஜில் இருக்காங்க, இந்த வருஷம் நடத்தின பொண்ணு இந்த ஸ்டேஜில் இருக்காங்க, இந்த இடத்துல இருக்காங்க. டாப் லெவலில் வேண்டி ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டேஜ் பை ஸ்டேஜ் போகலாம். முயற்சி செய்யுங்க. டெஃபினட்டாக நம்ம படிச்சுட்டு ஒரு வேலைக்கு தான் போகணுன்னு இல்லை. இந்த லெவல் நீங்கள் நடத்துறதுக்கு இவ்வளோ தனித்திறமையை வச்சுக்கிட்டு, பேச்சு திறமையை வச்சுக்கிட்டு, எல்லாமே கையில் இருக்கும் பொழுது ஏன் அடுத்த ஸ்டெப் நீங்கள் எடுத்து வைக்கக்கூடாதுங்கிறத என்னுடைய கேள்வி. அதனால் என்னுடைய ஆசையை நீங்கள் தயவுசெய்து நிறைவேற்றி கொடுக்கணும். இதில் உட்காந்துருக்க யாராவது ஒருத்தர் அடுத்த வருஷம் ஒரு ஸ்டேஜில் இருக்கணும். நீங்கள் புரியுதுங்களா? இன்றைக்கி மலேசியாவிலேருந்து வந்து 2 பேர் இன்றைக்கி உங்களை பாராட்டுறாங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களை கூட்டிகிட்டு போகிறேங்கிறாங்க, மலேசியா பார்லிமெண்ட்டு கூட்டிகிட்டு போகிறேங்கிறாங்க. அங்கே போய் மலேசியா பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் இருக்கிற மெம்பர்ஸ் ஒரு பக்கம், நீங்கள் ஒரு பக்கம் ஒரு இதே மாதிரி ஒரு செஷன் நடத்தணும்னு சொல்லி அவருக்கு ஒரு ஆசை. அவங்க எப்படி பேசுகிறாங்க, நீங்கள் எப்படி பேசுகிறீங்கன்னு அவர் பார்க்கணுன்னு ஆசை. அவங்க 4 நாள் அங்கே இருக்காங்கிறது போகிறதுக்கு, மலேசியா போகிறதுக்கே மனசு வரல. இந்த நம்முடைய அட்மாஸ்பியரிலேருந்து, நம்முடைய எஜுகேஷன் இன்ஸ்டியூஷன் வளாகத்திலேருந்து அவங்களால இன்றைக்கி ஈவினிங் கிளம்பணுமா அப்படிங்கிற மனசில் தான் இருக்காங்க அவங்க. ஸோ அந்தளவுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அங்கே இருக்கிற அட்மாஸ்பியர் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி தெரியும்? மலேசியானா பெரிய எப்படி இருக்குன்னு நம்ம மலேசியா போகிறீங்களா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்பாங்க. பட் மலேசியாவிலேருந்து இங்கே வந்து நம்மளுடைய அட்மாஸ்பியரில் இந்த இடத்துல பாராட்டுறாங்க அப்படின்னா நம்ம எப்படி நடத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம், எப்படி நீங்கள் இருக்கீங்க, உங்களுடைய தனித்திறமை எப்படி இருக்குதுங்களா கண்ணில் பார்த்துக்கிட்டு. அதை விட ஃபஸ்ட்டு டே ஜான் சார் வந்து நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கூட பார்த்துட்டு பேசுகிற பொழுது ஒரு இடத்துல எனக்கு கேட்ட வந்து நைட்டில் சொன்னார், வீட்டில் ஏன்னா தமிழே பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க, நான் தமிழ் பேசி பார்த்தா அவங்க ஆங்கிலத்தில் தான் பேசுகிறாங்க, அவ்வளோ அந்த மாதிரி ஃப்ளூயன்சியை பேசுகிறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாராட்டினாங்க அன்றைக்கி முதல் நாளே வந்து. ஸோ அதுக்கு மேலே இன்றைக்கி நீங்கள் பேசும்பொழுது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதுதான் இன்றைக்கி நீங்கள் கொடுத்த ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் அதுக்கு சாட்சி. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி நீங்கள் பண்ணக்கூடிய லெவலில் நம்ம 3 டிபார்ட்மெண்ட், பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ், ஹிஸ்ட்ரி அண்ட் எக்கனாமிக்ஸ், இந்த துறையில் 3 துறையில் நீங்கள் அவ்வளோ அருமையாக பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. வருஷம் இதை நடத்துகிறீங்க. நடத்துறதுக்கு அடுத்த லெவல் என்னங்கிறது மட்டும்தான் இந்த வருஷம் என்னுடைய அந்த எய்மை வந்து நீங்கள் சக்ஸஸ் பண்ணி கொடுக்கணுங்கிற வார்த்தையை உங்கள்கிட்ட சொல்லிவிட்டு, இதுக்கு மேலே நான் பேசுகிறதுக்கு ஒன்றுமே கிடையாது. எல்லாத்தையும் பாராட்டிட்டு இருந்தேன். திவான் வந்து சார் இவர் ரவீந்திரன் சார் திவானை தனிப்பட்ட முறையிலே பாராட்டினாங்க. ஏன்னா அவங்க வந்து ஸ்பீக்கர்கிட்டே டெப்டி ஸ்பீக்கர்கிட்டே இன்வைட் பண்ணி கொண்டு வந்து உட்கார வச்ச முறை, பக்கத்தில் நின்றுக்கிட்டு இருந்தது நாங்கள் அங்கே உட்காந்து பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் பேசுகிற ஸ்டைல் அங்கேருந்து நாங்கள் பேசிக்கிட்டே இருக்கோம், நீங்கள் எப்படி பேசுகிறீங்க இதெல்லாம் இன்னொரு மணி நேரம் நடத்தினா கூட நாங்கள் உட்காந்து பார்க்குறதுக்கு நாங்கள் ரெடியாக இருக்கோம். அந்தளவுக்கு அருமையாக இருந்துச்சு. விஷயம் ஆல் த பெஸ்ட். ரொம்ப அத்தனை பேருக்குமே என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள், பாராட்டுக்கள், சந்தோஷம். இங்கே இந்த நிகழ்வுக்காக நமக்கு கிடைச்ச ஒரு பாக்கியம். இன்றைக்கி மலேசியாவிலேருந்து வந்துட்டு இன்றைக்கி வேறு காலையில் வேறு அசைன்மெண்ட் முடிச்சுட்டு போகிறவங்களுக்கு இது ஒரு வாய்ப்பு, நம்ம கொடுக்குற வாய்ப்பு நமக்கு கிடைச்சது. அவங்கள கொண்டு மேடையில் உட்கார வச்சு உங்களுடைய பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் பார்க்குறதுக்கு நமக்கு கிடைச்ச வாய்ப்பு இது. இதெல்லாம் சாதாரணமாக கிடைக்காது. ஒரு அக்கேஷன் இதாவது உங்களுக்கு தான் அது அதிர்ஷ்டம். நீங்கள் நாளைக்கு சொல்லலாம், எங்கே போனாலும் இப்போ இது யூடியூப்பில் போயிட்டே இருக்கும். எப்போ எங்கே வேணாலும் இப்போ எல்லார் மக்களும் பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. என்ன நம்முடைய விவேகானந்தாவில் இந்த 3 துறையை சேர்ந்த மாணவியுடைய பார்லிமெண்ட் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் எப்படி இருக்குன்னு டெஃபரெண்ட்டாக எல்லோரும் பார்ப்பாங்க. அதை பார்க்க என்னங்கிறது தெரியும், உங்களுடைய தனித்திறமை என்னங்கிறது தெரியறதுக்கு எடுத்துக்காட்டாக தான் மேடையில் அத்தனை பேரும் எமினன்ட் பர்சனாலிட்டிஸ் உட்காந்துருக்காங்க. எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்துக்குங்க. ஸோ ஆல் தி பெஸ்ட். தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and inspiring words. Every certificate represents a journey of learning and growth. I invite the dignitaries on the dais to provide the certificate to the participants.
I welcome G. Rasika, 3rd BA Political Science, position Speaker. P. Janani, 3rd BA Political Science, Deputy Speaker. G. Pradipa, 3rd BA Political Science, Prime Minister. S.N. Vijayalatha, 3rd BA Political Science, General Secretary. P. Kirtika, 3rd BA Political Science, General Secretary. M. Tavashri, 2nd BA Political Science, General Secretary. B. Kavishri, 3rd BA Political Science, Marshal. R. Varalakshmi, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Rural Development. Nazira Banu, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Tourism. M. Bhavana, 1st BA Political Science, Ministry of Urban Development. Sir, faster படிக்க சொல்றேன். G. Pradipa, Prime Minister. S.N. Vijayalatha, S.N. Vijayalatha, General Secretary. P. Kirtika, 3rd BA Political Science, General Secretary. M. Tavashri, 1st BA Political Science, General Secretary. B. Kavishri, 3rd BA History, Marshal. R. Varalakshmi, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Rural Development. A. Nazira Banu, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Tourism. M. Bhavana, 1st BA Political Science, Ministry of Urban Development. B. Madhumita, 2nd BA Political Science, Ministry of Science and Technology. K. Akshaya, 2nd BA Political Science, Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. S.S. Suryashri, 2nd BA Political Science, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. A.S. Yogashri, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Women and Child Development. V. Kartiga, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Law and Justice. S. Nevila, 2nd BA Political Science, Ministry of High Industries. A.M. Mohan Priya, 2nd BA Political Science, Ministry of Education. K. Soundarya, 2nd BA Economics, Ministry of Defense. M. Saranya Lakshmi, 2nd BA Economics, Ministry of External Affairs. M. Shweta, 3rd BA History, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. R. Libiselvi, 3rd BA History, Ministry of Renewable Energy. A. Preeti, 2nd BA Political Science, Ministry of Labour and Employment. K. A. Pratipha, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Railways. S. Ashwini, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Health. N. Jivika, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Finance. S. Selva Kumari, 3rd BA Political Science, Ministry of Environment. S. Madhunisha, 1st BA Political Science, Home Minister. D. Navashri, 1st BA Political Science, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. K. Rudraveena, 1st BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. D. Pon Priyadarshini, 2nd BA Political Science, Minister of Textiles. C. S. Tejashwini, 2nd BA Political Science, Minister of Panchayat Raj. K. Jyotika, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. S. Yogita, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. S. Inia, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. P. Dhanushastri, 1st BA Political Science, Minister of Civilization, Uttar Pradesh. Opposition, S. Harisha, 3rd BA Political Science, Opposition Leader, Wayanad, Kerala. M. Ramyashri, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Jammu and Kashmir. L. J. Lipuja, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Malkangiri, Odisha. K. Dhanushri, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, South Mumbai, Maharashtra. S. Pritima, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Trichurapalli. K. M. Niranjana, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, North Goa. M. Abhinaya, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Sivagangai. A. Sumita, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Gujarat. D. Inbashri, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Vishwakapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. S. Vainisha, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Puducherry. P. Joyce Jemima, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Keshpur, West Bengal. S. Yashwantra, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Chhattisgarh. S. Varnika Shri, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, South Delhi. Yes, Yes, Samitra, 3rd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, West Bengal. V. Rudra Prabha, 2nd BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Karnataka. S.K. Amrita, 1st BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Udaipur, Rajasthan. A. Jasmine Fatima, first BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. P. Preeti, third BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. R. Harini, third BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Hamirpur. N. Vijaya Raghavi, first BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Nashik, Maharashtra. M. Mukil Arasi, second BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Faridabad, Haryana. L. Deepika, first BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. L. Deepika, first BA Political Science, Member of Parliament. S. Priyadarshini, second BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Shimla. T. K. Madhivadani, second BA Political Science, Member of Parliament, Kerala. M. Sangeeta, second BA Political Science, Minister of Power, Ernakulam. Foreign delegates.
Students, kindly be seated in your seats. Students, you are asked to be seated in your seats. Students, kindly occupy your seats. Thank you, dignitaries. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. I invite M. Bhavitra Dhaneshkumar, 2nd BA Political Science, to propose the vote of thanks.
A delightful afternoon to everyone. I feel honored to be here. This is Bhavitra Dhaneshkumar, Secretary of Political Science Department. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for today's Youth Parliament session. My heartfelt thanks to our Chairman and Secretary, Vivekanandha Education Institutions and Hospital Vidyaratna, Professor Dr. M. Karunanithi sir, for his constant encouragement and visionary leadership that empowers students to engage in academic and democratic platform like this. I thank our Vice Chairman of Vivekanandha Education Institutions and Hospitals, Dr. K. Kripanidhi sir. We sincerely acknowledge his continued support and encouragement towards academic and co-curricular initiatives. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our Chief Guest, Honorable Professor Dr. John Palmer Victor sir and Mr. Ravindran Venkateswamy sir for gracing this occasion and sharing valuable insights. Your presence has added real meaning to today's discussion. I also extend my gratitude to Professor Dr. S. Kuppusamy sir, Executive Director of Vivekanandha Education Institutions, and Dr. R. Balagurunathan sir, Research Director, Vivekanandha Education Institutions, Dr. Sanjay Singh sir, FDF Director of Vivekanandha Education Institutions, their valuable presence and support. My heartfelt thanks to our respected Head of the Department of Political Science and History, Dr. K. Prabhu sir, and Head of the Department of Economics for the motivation and leadership throughout the program. I would like to thank our teachers for their continuous guidance and support for this successful event. A special appreciation to all the participants who performed their role with confidence and enthusiasm and making this youth parliament lively and impactful. I also thank the organizing team and volunteers whose hard work ensured the smooth conduct of program. I also wholeheartedly thank the off-stage team whose dedication, efforts and perfect coordination made the entire setup smooth and effective. I thank all the department HODs, faculty members for actively participating in this event. Finally, I thank each and everyone for making this event a grand success. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you. National Anthem.
Janagana Manahadinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vitata Punjab Sindh Gujarata Maratha Dravida Uchala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jalati Taranga Tab Shubha Name Jahe Tab Shubha Ashish Mahe Gahe Tab Jaya Gata Janagana Mangala Nayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vitata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He